The Dark Realm is a difficult place to live. Plants grow weakly and twisted in the lack of sunlight. Mercenary work and banditry are rife, as it pays more than basic farming or hunting. The realm at large is ruled over from the great city of Guardia, an overpopulated, sinful place ruled over by a baleful king that we haven't seen in years. There is an elven kingdom to the south, ruled by the sequestered shadow elves, a dwarven kingdom lost to the mountains of the west, and a tiefling kingdom among the volcanic rock of the islands in the north. Great patches of our land are poisoned and deserted. There are tribal villages, beasts, goblins, and orc warbands, of course, but we're trapped here. The mists are a mystery. Most who enter them never return. Those that do are changed in such a way that they are unrecognizable or utterly insane. Nothing comes out of the mist, but it surrounds us, calls out, poisons, frightens. Couple that with the almost endless darkness, and the Dark Realm is a very difficult place to live.
It is the next morning in the town of Kira, which is a town that you had visited before and had arrived at late last night. After another evening of dinner and local entertainment at the only tavern in town that you're allowed to go to, Gogo's Ale House, which is owned by Gogo the Goblin. Togor the Orc was standing outside and would have let you in. You guys would have been able to eat dinner, and while everybody would have shot filthy looks at Will, you guys would have been able to do what you did before, get a room, and probably the same room, just I think it was a few piles of hay in a general room. In the morning there would be a bang on the door, and Togor the Orc would come in with eggs, hand out some boiled eggs, as is custom in this inn, and you guys will have had this rest. Once again, you find yourselves in the morning, probably around 7-8 a.m. here. You can hear the sounds of Kira, this town with this enormous castle set on top of a plateau with a town that had built up around it over the years, with mostly kind of markets and trade stalls, seeing as this is kind of central to the realm. There's lots of comings and goings with carts and carriages all the time. You will hear that kind of morning hustle and bustle as people start to maneuver and move around and wake up in town. After you guys will have had any sort of breakfast or anything, knock off 4 silver. Oh no, it'll be 3 silver and 1 gold. Sorry, I forgot you had Will in the party. That would have paid for your room and board. We probably rejoin you here on the outside of this tavern as you step outside. A kind of gruff nod from Togor as you step out onto the streets once again. And this alehouse is located pretty close to the front gates, to the area where the huge great gate sits. And there's a metric shit ton of traders moving through these gates. Lots of carriages, lots of merchants with horse and carriage following behind. And I believe the plan was to possibly look for either a carriage or some other form that isn't just your boots treading on the ground to get you from Kira to Gerfreda. So let's do a set of rolls. Everyone, first of all, roll me d20, and Fire, roll me a perception check. A 10. Let's see here. So a 3, a 9, a 10, a 5, and then fixed with the natural 20. So you can see basically everything that you're looking for. You can see that there are a couple of carriage services. Let's say you can see a carriage that you understand to be the type of thing that you could purchase. A strong-looking draft horse, white mane, perfectly kept. A black-looking carriage with golden polished trim at areas, and a gentleman wearing kind of fine clothing, white shirt with a little bow at the top. His hair brushed silver, looking a little older, maybe in his 50s, but he looks in pretty good shape. Human man with a light crossbow hanging from his hip. I think you get the sense that this is a private carriage, the type of thing that you would be able to approach and hire. For the most part, the type of thing that royalty or nobility would maybe use. You can assume that it'd be relatively expensive, as is any private anything here. Alternatively, you get the idea that there's a ton of merchants heading out of the gate at the moment. You might be able to find one that is heading either to Gerfreda or along the road or something like that, depending on what you wanted to do. Fire, you probably spent the last little while looking around, because the last time you were in town, you were hit with a little dart from the silence, and they kind of tried to recruit you. And I think every now and then you get this kind of sense that you're being watched. And every time you try and spot one of them, or you don't see them, you don't find them, you're not sure whether they're even watching you or not. But I think you get the sense that they know you're in town. And that's, but maybe it's just anxiety. But you certainly don't see any of them in this town following you around or anything like that. So, what do you guys want to do? What is the first port of call here this morning?
The first thing I want to do is, louder than I usually would speak, say, "Oh, I wonder if there are any of those. Remember what happened last time? I wonder if they're here."
Fire, why are you talking so loud?
Do you want another dart to the ass?
I can't see
It can
any
be
of
ranged.
them, but I feel like they're looking at me. You know?
But they probably keep track of everyone that comes and goes from town, so yes, they're most likely watching you.
No, but I mean like me specifically.
Are you trying to get their attention? What do you want them for?
No, I just want to know. I feel like they're watching me and I can't see anyone.
Give me
probably are
another
watching.
perception check.
And
Fire.
I changed my hair and everything. 13?
13. The rest of you three, give me a perception check as well.
They're like right next to me and I'm like, oh shit.
Laugh when we're like, yeah, they're actually right behind you.
Oh no. Guys. Oh, there we go.
I caught it all in 4K with that
Yes, you
20.
did.
Yeah,
Holy.
stepping out from behind fire. Like, honestly, for you, Will, this is crazy looking. This shadow elf steps out from behind fire. It's very strange to see. It's almost like watching fire kind of
A
clone
stage magician.
for a second as one of them steps out from behind where fire is. This is one that you don't recognize. I think previously you met a young shadow elf. Was her name Sarah? You called her, and Sam. And this is an older looking drow elf. Hair a little longer. A little more rough, but still relatively short with long kind of bangs coming down. And then just a set of wraps around that kind of very dark looking armor. Not, again, too dissimilar to what Fire wears and very similar to what all the other members of the Silence wear. And This one very hushedly speaks to, though Will is the only one that originally notices her kind of arrive. She seems to speak to you, Fire, as she says in Elven to you, "Do you require our services again?"
Hello? I'll just look to the group. Do we require their services again?
How much do they charge again?
How much are you charging?
The cost is always 100 gold pieces per day per member of this island.
Yeah.
It might not be a bad idea to have an ace up the sleeve when we get to Gore's Point.
That's what I was thinking.
But we don't know exactly what day or if there will be a fight, etc. It would be hard to pinpoint the exact time and location we would need them. We'd have to hire them to post up there for a day or two, which would get expensive very quickly.
We have operatives in Gore's Point. Unless you require many.
I don't think we can afford many.
Do I get
But we can afford one.
a discount or,
Why?
friends and family?
I am to understand that you did not approve of our services last time.
Yeah. So no discount.
No discount. But
Okay,
this time I
yeah.
will ensure that we will be very thorough in meeting your expectations.
Okay. If we tentatively hire for if we need them, do we have to just... Let's say there are 3 days, and we're not sure if we'll even need them. But then on the second day, a fight breaks out, and we need them. Would that be 300 gold? Or maybe they just I can do a secret whistle and call them to my aid during
Would you
the
like
fight.
to arrange a secret whistle?
We could, yeah, sure. We could do a bird noise.
Very well.
You go first.
It is your whistle.
Yeah, but I don't know what you're capable of when it comes to...
I am capable of whatever you need for the right price.
Can you do a flamingo?
I'm just gonna elbow Fire.
Okay, just caw. Maybe we could just... Caw! Just
Okay. When you make this sound, you want backup.
I look to the others. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
person.
sure.
Doesn't matter
But
what
what does a
noise you
flamingo
make.
sound like?
I don't know.
What is a flamingo?
I wanted to see if they could do it. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, I
The
think
call works just fine.
Okay. Caw,
getting one
then.
operative when you call is a good idea.
That will be kind of obvious, though. If we're just standing in front of him and I just go, caw.
I mean,
But,
as far as I'm concerned, we pick a day and we plan to meet him. And we do it there and then. We meet with them beforehand.
okay. Okay.
Okay, so you wish to make the sound of a flamingo.
I don't act that. It was kind of a prank. I don't know if that's the sound they make.
You do not know how it sounds yet.
No. It
This is the call you wish to make in
It was
order
a-
to summon our services.
okay, they don't understand jokes. We could just do caw if you want, or we could have a word. Is there a neat
Fire.
phrase? Yep.
Perhaps pick a word in Elven that is not commonly used. Unlikely to hear people yelling random things in Elven in Gore's Point.
What's flamingo in Elven?
That is a good
one.
question. That is a very good question. What is flamingo in Elven?
You know. Because
I
you
do?
are an elf.
Okay, but just, hypothetically, in case I maybe need to brush up on the language, what would it sound like, Brad?
Let's find out. Let's see if we can translate flamingo into Elven. Translate. It's Elfiski.
That does not sound as cool as I want it to.
Sounds very
Sounds
Scandinavian.
risky.
Yeah, no,
I think it might be Russian actually, but that's what it is now.
I've tried looking it up, and there's a lot of different results. Almost like people can't agree on what elf words sound like.
Yeah, I had to Google
There you go.
it too.
I'm going with Russian. It's something near Russian, that. Flamingo.
Okay. Elf, how do you say that? I don't know.
Elviski.
Elviski.
You want to use this word?
Sure, yeah. Yep.
Okay. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out a whistle and hands it to you.
Okay.
There you go. You can whistle this instead.
I don't know. I think we've already determined that.
It's good to have options, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Since
what
you
if she
will
can't
be-
reach her pockets?
Operating in a different
we'll
place.
scream out Elfisky.
You could have started, though. You could have started with the whistle. And then we could have, just skipped that entire. Okay. It was nice catching up with you. Thanks for
This
your
will
help.
work in Gore's Point.
Mm-hmm.
You wish to summon one of us, you will have one. You wish to summon two, you will have two, but no more than three. Unless you tell us
Okay.
before.
I think we'll only need one.
Very well.
I'm going to stop and scratch out the names of the various people that basically all the people on my hit list, including Arias and most of his officers, and hand it to her and say, if you pass this along, you'll have an idea in advance just who we may be crossing swords with. Might help your operatives be prepared.
She looks over the names, but doesn't seem to recognize anything on there, and nods. Yeah, very well.
Next time you could just say hi. You don't have to. I'm just a suggestion if you wanted to.
Well, there is rules around when we can and cannot speak.
Yeah. Maybe seeing a friend does that? Could you
I
speak
have
then?
no friends.
Okay.
Good day.
Yep.
Everyone's got friends, including you. Oh, okay.
The elf is doing the Assassin's Creed thing again, where they turn around and move into the crowd, and then they're just gone.
Are you
So
is
cool.
conspicuously
So cool.
pushing aside each person?
Slowly moves aside 2 or 3 people
Yeah.
until there's a bunch of people wearing almost exactly the same outfit, and then they step in between them and they move down an alleyway and they're gone.
God, they're so
Perfect.
cool.
All right.
It's
Well,
a neat looking whistle you got there now.
Yep. Yeah.
Just think, Fire, if we live through this, easy source of employment has come right back here.
Yeah. They seem to like me.
you could be her very first friend.
Yeah. That could be my life's goal after. If
Making friends.
Yeah. What's that like?
Anyway, I think there's a carriage over there we could take. Looks like a human charters it though, so maybe Will would have the best chance at haggling. It looks a bit.
Will's good at making friends.
Yes, maybe there'll be some reverse karma from the tavern. I'll go
Perhaps.
talk to him.
It looks a little
I will-
upmarket for our tastes, but I think we've
I'll
deserved it.
approach the I'll approach the man with the fancy coach then and inquire about his pricing and how quick he can get us to Gerfreda.
Yeah, you move over towards this this private carriage, and how do you all look? I wonder if you look. You probably look pretty scruffy, really, don't you? Even,
Oh boy, don't ask me that.
yeah. So let me roll a dice or two here. I guess, Will, as soon as you approach, in fact, you will.
I think I always look like a mercenary at this point, whether I want to or not.
Yeah, and that is why as soon as you get close to this man, he says, I don't need mercenary work today. Thank you.
I'm not looking to offer a sword. I'm looking to hire out your coach.
Oh, well, then, my apologies. Dime a dozen mercenaries here. You have to understand they are constantly sizing me up and down incorrectly. My apologies. He kind of glances at some of your armor, and I think your armor doesn't look so bad because it's quite new. But your sword and shield look quite worn. You probably look a little dirty. You slept in the hay and stuff. But he says, "Yes, where are you hoping to head today?"
Well, I'm heading to Gerfreda. My only question was how much quicker you could get me there than walking.
And walking, perhaps only a little faster. The roads are quite difficult between here and Gerfreda along the river. But yeah, comfort, effort, maximum comfort, absolutely no effort on your part. It'll keep you spry for whatever work it is you do. Keep your energy up.
Those are always nice luxuries to have, but right now time is my primary resource. How long would it take us to get to Gerfreda?
Well, let's see. So a carriage is really not going to be much quicker. And what did we work out last time? Along this road, let's see. 1 day,
yeah,
2 days, 3.5 days.
I figured if we went with a merchant wagon, it wouldn't be any faster than walking, lugging, goods and such along the road. I wasn't sure if just a pure transport coach would go any faster. I don't know.
It'll probably
Figured
go a
we'd ask.
little faster based on the weight of the carriage itself. Some of the carts are only 2-wheel carts. This is like a 4-wheel carriage, but he does only have 1 horse, and it's a pretty big cart with 4 people in it, so it's not going to be amazing. There's not a lot of difference in terms of technology, so this is really just a painted version of some of the things that the merchants travel on. He says it'll be 3 days.
And what did we determine it would be if we walked? It was still 3 days, right?
About 3.5, 4.
Save us half a day.
How much
Right.
more?
What's the asking price?
That, along that road, he pats the light crossbow at his hip. He says, it's not the most dangerous route, but it's not always comfortable once we get into the forests.
Well, I'm not going to try and sell you mercenary work since you've made it clear you don't need it, but I'll also point out that we are armed for the road.
Yes.
Trouble on the road is likely not to be an issue.
He looks you up and down and then looks at the others that are around you and says, I ask only for our safety. Are you hunted?
Hunting.
And your enemies? Notable?
They're not even in Gerfreda. There'll be no blood spilled, at least on our part, on the road there. You'll be long gone.
Then we can settle for 50 gold pieces.
Look back to the others. What say you? Take a break from walking and wearing down the soles of our feet and perhaps get there half a day faster?
I also wouldn't mind traveling in luxury, so yes, I
We
say
deserve
I.
it.
We deserve it.
I kind of frown, and then I look at Merlin and sort of soften up a little bit, and I'm like, sounds fine to me.
Vix, you've been our bookkeeper. Oh, this is going to take a huge bite out of our resources, and realistically, is there anything else we actually need to buy? I'm not sure if we should be saving money. You can't take it with you after all.
I'd like to buy a bow if I find one that I like, but
We can afford this, and we can afford one day with Fire's operative. And a bit more.
Let's take it then. Why not?
you just take it. You don't barter. Is it strange that I barter, or is it strange that you don't?
You know, I was quite the haggler about a month ago. Perspectives changed.
Yeah. Okay.
Merlin, roll me a perception check.
Ooh.
22.
You have to beat a 1. An enormous face appears in front of yours and says, "Oh, you're a gnome!"
Yes, I'm a gnome.
There is a
Hello.
really large-looking human, probably equal parts muscle and fat, big kind of burly beard but shaved head, and covered in tattoos up his arms. He leans down to you and kind of takes like a knee in front of you and says, "I am honored, absolutely honored." Holds out his hand.
Oh, as am I. Merlin, I guess, reluctantly, but shakes his hand regardless. Good today. Day, yes.
Grabs
Day?
your hand and vigorously shakes it and says, "Name's Little Bruno, and you lot are getting fleeced. 50 gold pieces? Come on, what are you talking about?"
I just lightly punch Will in the shoulder. I told you. I knew it.
Oh, well, well, we didn't want to pry or be rude. Rather, you telling us that we perhaps can barter?
He stands up and points to the skinniest horse you've ever seen in your entire life, attached to a wagon that is barely kind of standing, 2 wheels. Really 1.5 wheels is probably what you're looking at. On the back of it, tied down, are a bunch of leathers and pelts, not too many of them. He points at it and says, "Look at that! 5 gold pieces, I'll take you to the Merrin's Keep cross."
Wow, that is quite the noble steed you've got there, and a wonderful carriage. But
Yeah, I'll do anything for a gnome, me. You know what they call me, Little Bruno?
oh no.
My best friend's Big Bruno.
Oh, you don't say. Oh,
Yeah.
that is terrific.
The gnome.
Oh. Well, it is very pleasing to hear that you are, well, you take quite kindly to my kind, rather.
5 gold pieces. You want to get fleeced for that?
Your offer
I can keep you
is,
safe and all.
I mean, I have no doubts about
You also
that.
get a bed of pelts to lay on.
I do an insight check on this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an 8. Never mind.
And hey,
Can we also just do a general knowledge check on the concept of 50 gold? Is that like a lifelong retirement fund going into one coach ride?
it's a lot of money. You get the sense based on what this guy is wearing. The fact that he has painted a thing is insane on its own. The fact that he has black and gold paint. His horse looks well fed and brushed. He's wearing like decent looking clothes. His stuff looks decent. 50 gold is, he probably is giving you the correct price. You get the sense that he's not trying to fleece you, but it is a lot of money. 50 gold is pretty crazy outside of nobility. But you know, you have it, so it's up to you. It doesn't seem like extortionate, other than the fact that sometimes when you're poor, things feel extortionate. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah.
So he's probably used to catering to really high-end clientele, basically.
It's a fair price for what he probably offers.
Okay.
Well, as much as your offer is, well, most gracious, we've already, taken an interest, in our, friends.
I've got something more interesting for you.
Oh?
A trip with little Bruno.
Is that all?
Oh,
Yep.
As
And you're going to
tempting
save
as that is,
45
good
gold
sir.
pieces, and you can spend them any which way you want. You're heading to
But you're only going
Gerfreda.
to Merrin's Keep.
I'm going to the crossroads because I'm going up to Merrin's Keep, and then I'm off to Cole. You ever been to Cole? Absolute shit Cole. That's what I say. It's awful. You never want to
I'll
go
have to
there.
take your word for
Anyone
it.
ever tells you to go there, never go there. They ain't even got a tavern anymore, so I hear.
What? Why?
It was eaten by a thing with tentacles.
Eaten the entire
You
tavern.
don't say.
That's what I heard on the road. Not looking forward to going up there. Maybe the beer's cheaper now.
Well, why are you going up
Ate
there
the
then?
entire tavern did it.
Man's got to sell his wares. They also got some good hunters, so maybe I can pick a few up. Cheap like.
Okay. So you want us to give you 5 gold to get us halfway there?
Well,
And
it's not
even
halfway
the
there, is
dangerous
it?
Part.
About 2/3?
I like you.
I like you too.
I look at the other carriage guy, and I'm like, this guy's gonna do it for 5 gold.
The
You'd-
other fellow is just watching this, seemingly completely unbothered, and he says, very well, you may travel with him if you'd like. He leans back against his carriage.
I think Will just puts on the most resigned look of all right, whatever. Whatever our fate has in store, and I'm waiting for them to or waiting for Merlin to
Yeah, I kind of
Just
look at
talking to the
Merlin's
guy.
face and like
No,
see what he actually seems to want.
We all look at Merlin.
Little
making
Bruno
Merlin
then
decide
looks
for
at
the
Merlin.
first time ever.
Oh, you dare. Okay, if Bruno looks at Merlin, I think Merlin just looks up at everybody and says, "Well, we gotta go with Bruno now."
Okay.
You've made the right choice. Let me tell you something. I'm going to get you all comfortable. Who wants to sit on the front with me?
Merlin?
I will.
Right.
I'd be more
It's going to
than
be like a
happy to.
throne for you. A beautiful throne for a beautiful gnome.
Oh, you're too kind.
The rest of you, have at it. See if you can make yourself comfortable amongst the pelts. If nothing else, it'll be warm at night. You can lay down, you can sit down. Just let me know if you need a piss.
How much does it smell?
Roll me a d20.
Oh no.
Oh no.
1 is awful.
8.
It does not smell good,
Whoa.
but it's not like
Okay.
the worst thing. It's not.
Okay.
It's not great though. You get close to this thing, and there is just. It's like old leather and kind of stale meat smell. Is really kind of what you're getting. And not old leather like the type of thing that you would actively purchase, like one of those things you hang in the car, like
Yeah.
a new car smell. It does not smell like that. But it isn't like putrid and awful. The horse smells awful. As soon as you're near the horse, it stinks.
It doesn't smell much worse than last night's
That's
sleeping
pumpkin.
arrangements. So.
Hi, Pumpkin.
She's my best friend.
Hi, Pumpkin.
Oh,
Hi.
Yeah.
no, not a gnome.
Right, if I can get payment up front, I can feed Pumpkin.
Oh my God! Give this man his gold.
I give him 6 gold and I look him in the eye. I did that thing where you hand over the gold and you like kind of put your hand on top of it and grab their hand and I'm like, feed him well.
All right, it's a she. And he takes it. He looks at it and says, oh, tiefling schools, eh? Yeah. He hands you a gold coin back. Yeah. It was 5. That's, I won't tell your friend.
I will pull out I have 4 gold in my pocket, and I'm gonna pull out 1 gold and go, that's all right. I'd like to offer you a tip, though. Just extra.
All right. Go on then.
There you go. Yeah. And I'll just look at Vix and hand him.
Oh, right. I thought you meant like, brush my hair or something.
You want me to brush your hair?
Like a tip, like you should brush your hair more, or like, you know,
Oh, no.
when you make a cup of
shouldn't do
tea,
that.
stir it anti-clockwise. It tastes better,
Do
you know?
Do you want a tip? I could
Yeah,
try
what
to
you
think of
got?
something. Make sure you take care of your teeth.
He smiles,
Or-
and he has 4 teeth
Yeah.
maximum. He says, I try to take care of them, yeah.
Yeah, they look great.
All right.
That's
All
my
right.
tip.
You make yourselves at home. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm going to pop down to the stables. And he wanders off down towards where the very obvious stables were, not far away from, just like literally a stone's throw away. And he heads off to go and purchase some oats and grain and things. What are you guys doing? You're left here with this cart with a few pelts on it and some leather things and a horse that is raggedy looking.
I thought for sure you were gonna say he wanders off, and it turns out that horse and wagon aren't even
Yeah.
his, and
He
he
just
just
left.
leaves us for 6
Imagine.
gold.
I am
Oh
so
my
happy
god. I would have
we
loved
settled
that.
this.
I think I'll just kind of apologetically turn to the other coach guy and say, it appears plans have changed, but I might actually still have a potential offer for you. Do you by any chance head to the capital?
I can go wherever you please. Is it a message?
Yes, a letter to deliver.
Well, I can deliver it, or I can pass it on to a messenger, a dedicated messenger. They'll get there a little faster if you'd like.
Whichever. It's not super time sensitive.
Very well.
Just needs to eventually work its way to Guardia.
Yes. Perhaps if you write it in letter form.
I would already have like a rolled up parchment at this point that I wrote last night in the inn, and it would be addressed to Will's parents in Guardia.
Very well. Yes, I can pass that on for you. He glances at you, glances over at the carriage that you're about to take, and says, let's call it a gold piece.
Thanks. And I'll pay him myself with my, like, what is it, my last gold piece that I have on my person.
He, you see him, place it into a lockbox. Takes him a minute or so. Pulls a lockbox out from under the seat where he sits and puts the roll of paper into there, locks it again. Good day.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, alright, let's go then, shall we? Alright then. Right, so we're ready to go, are we? He comes wandering back over, little Bruno. He's really big. He's actually like pushing 7 feet tall. This guy probably has some form of giant's blood somewhere in his family tree. But for all intents and purposes seems to be human. A few tattoos on him. His clothing pretty raggedy, pretty standard traveler's wear. He moves over towards the cart, and from the front carriage seat he pulls off a big fur cloak with a collar that sticks up very high. He pulls on a flat cap over his head and jumps up into the seat and says, right, we all comfortable then? Come on, get in.
Very comfortable.
All right, I ain't got really. I've put a
climb
nice
in.
this up. Apparently, this is raccoon. So, and he pulls a threaded pelt up over the bare wood where you would be sitting there, Merlin. He says, "Yep, meant to be the most comfortable thing. No idea, to be honest.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, well, I only just inherited this cart.
Oh, inherited it.
That's right. Yeah,
Oh,
belonged to me mother.
well, it is a fine carriage, and Bruno here and Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Pumpkin didn't belong to me mother. I had to purchase Pumpkin. Purchased her this morning.
I see. Well, Pumpkin, I'm sure will make
They
a
say she
great
was a
addition
war horse
to-
at one
Oh,
point.
oh.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. What do you reckon? Give me an animal handling check, Merlin.
Ooh.
Today.
Not sure whether this was a warhorse, but maybe a long time ago. This horse might be 80 years old and was a warhorse
Oh,
when it was
wow.
10.
It was in the first ever war.
It was the first ever war. But yeah, this horse is thin, raggedy, old looking, head kind of drooping a little bit.
Well, I would certainly believe it. She does look like she's been through, some things.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking as long as she can make it all the way up to Cole, trade her in. Right?
Right.
Cole, they got to have some horses in Cole and they got to be cheaper, right? Because it's Cole.
Well, maybe. I can't really say I'm too familiar with
Yeah,
Cole.
no, you don't want to go there. Let me tell you. All right, giddy up, let's go. Yeah. Okay. And he attempts to get the horse to move, and I'm gonna roll a dice for him.
Oh,
No,
Cole.
the horse just dies.
If I'd rolled a natural one, I might have done it.
Oh, no.
But he didn't. He rolled 19.
Ooh.
So he, you see the horse kind of stand to attention and begin to move and trot forward and begins to pull the carriage behind you. There's a moment where it takes a little bit for the kind of these old creaking wheels to turn. The right-hand wheel on this cart is so loud as it turns with this constant kind of whine where it's maybe too tightly placed onto the arch, but it is probably going to be the most annoying thing of all time for all of you as this thing starts to trundle forward across the cobblestones here, and you and little Bruno and Pumpkin the horse head out of Kira down the enormous ramp that makes it down to the kind of farm land, and you head out of town. So once again, we are on the road. Yeah.
No
Last
regrets.
thing you hear
No
is
regrets.
from leaving town. So have you ever met a guy named Guinness? Like, as
Oh yeah. For sure. Guinness, yeah, I love Guinness. Yeah, we go back. Just a
God.
constant, once again, a constant kind of rolling chatter, like a cab driver or something like that. So I'm gonna roll a couple dice. So you get some bonuses, and I need to reopen my thing for being on a road and for being in a cart and all that stuff. You get lots of bonuses, and oh, it's also daytime. Let me double check on the time. So you guys are leaving here at about 9 a.m. I've got to keep an eye on it because Arias is out there lurking, waiting. 9 a.m. And actually, it would probably be getting light, actually. So, yes. Daytime. So, let's do this nice and easy. Let's have Merlin at the front of the carriage, and Will roll me a d6 each.
roll me a d6 each.
One of both of you roll one.
5.
3.
5 and a 3. Okay. Oh, I opened the wrong thing. A 5 and a 3, if my memory serves, means absolutely jack shit is going to happen to you. Yep. So the this is going to be the whole day. Is going to be nice and easy. On the road here, you probably have the company of a couple of other carts as you head north across the bridge again, and down or up through the hills that you came down after you encountered those trolls before. There's the river that runs up to the Turtle Lake with and this is the river that you encountered those trolls on when you rescued one of the guards at Kira. And so this road, while again isn't an incredibly well kept road, it is a much better kept road than the ones that lead to Dandolo or the one that goes from Jairus to Kull, but it's certainly not one of those excellently maintained and very straight roads that head out of Guardia, and even the terrifying thing that was leading up into the mist. But you're able to keep to this road very easily with the other carts trundling along nearby. There's probably too much activity or too many armed merchants in a close enough grouping for any potential lurking bandits or tribes members to try and rush you, and it certainly doesn't seem to draw the attention of anything freaky. And you are stuck with little Bruno, who probably tells you his entire life story. This kid, he's from Perio Port. He has lived pretty much exclusively a life of absolute poverty, making money working for his parents, who were traders. Both of them still alive, even though probably it took you a full day to find that out. Assuming, because he keeps talking about inheriting things, and he just doesn't know what it means. He actually just works for them, and they have a small place in Perio Port, this very small off the beaten path. Imagine Som's Point 2, south of Gore's Point. It's a very similar kind of town. Basic walls, and like a single inn, and then a small market. And he talks about it the whole way, saying that realistically he has only just started working on his own for the first time. You find out that he is 19 years old, and he appears much older and much larger. He's just so big and chatty, but over the course of the day that you travel here with him, you kind of get the sense that he is kind of childish and doesn't really know what he's doing. This is his first kind of few months on the job, really. After first kind of day, really, that he's kind of doing this by himself. So, I'm going to roll a dice for him as we move past the different locations here, because the thing with him is kind of doesn't know where he's going. So,
Oh no!
Yay.
as we come to the first crossroads, I'm going to roll one dice for him to see if he absolutely butchers this, and then if he does, you will have the opportunity to intervene. I'm not even kidding when I tell you I rolled a natural 1. Okay.
Oh no. And the horse dies.
So
At the end of the first
Kira,
day,
we're heading south, basically.
yes, you 4, can you all roll me survival checks?
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
Okay.
you got to beat
Oh, thank
50.
goodness. There we go.
What is
Oh, yeah,
that
we
in
beat
total?
that.
Yeah, you've beaten that.
You're welcome.
There comes a point where, as you are traveling along with little Bruno, he I think this will be at the end of the day. So you've probably done longer than a full day's travel. This might be in the middle of the night of leaving. So while you guys normally throughout the day would only get maybe 8 hours of travel before experiencing some form of exhaustion or whatever, for the most part you're kind of just sitting down or laying down in the back of this carriage. And even though it is not the most comfortable thing in the world, you are laying on a bunch of pelts, so it's probably not too awful realistically. There's a point where the road splits. The left hand path, or the western path, leads up and north across that great big plains that you'd traveled down through before, that you'd been warned off of due to there being lots of kind of activity from the Muin tribe, who are very dangerous and still very barbaric and aggressive in their ways. And there is a path that leads easterly, which is the way to Gerfreda. And you all, maybe Fix doesn't. I don't know. It's up to you, because it was a group check. But Fix did roll natural 1 there. But between you, you realize that he has taken the cart off onto the westerly road and is heading north to Jairus. And he is just chatting away. And that's when I said, not me, mate, not me. I've been around the world 10 times.
Ira's brushing his hair, by the way, if he would let her, because he said that earlier, the tip thing, and she's bored.
He will let you do that, but roll me an insight check.
Yeah. Okay. Up. God damn it.
Okay. 6.
Yeah, and I'll just, because I'm probably closer to him, I'll just go, I think you were supposed to take a turn back there.
What do you mean?
You're going the wrong way.
Now, when you say going the wrong way,
I mean, okay, you're going. The direction that you're going in is incorrect. So we need to just whip it around.
right?
And I'm trying to say it quietly so as not to embarrass
And
him or
he
anything.
leans back and says, "Now, now the problem here is, and I hate to make you feel stupid, right?
Yeah.
But the way what we came from, that's the way what we came from, and we want to be going away from that on account of the fact that that's the point."
Yeah.
Hey, weren't we supposed to take a right back there?
It was my mistake. Yeah, you just gotta listen. You gotta trust
At the
me.
crossroads, I was
Okay.
supposed to go the other way, was it?
Yeah.
It's just that there was a sign on it, but I can't read.
Yeah. I'll read it next time for you.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to pop up here because I thought I saw. What is that over there anyway? Oh, I thought I saw.
Yeah, that's
I
it's
thought I
nothing.
saw
It was
something.
just a
I thought it
stump.
was
What now?
No, I thought I saw a chest in the distance. Something like we could
Thought
be
we saw
nice,
a treasure
you know,
chest.
There's all sorts of treasure chests. So what's up
But it
with
was
all
a
them
stump.
treasure chests anyway? And let me just turn
Who
the
knows?
carriage around here, and he
Yeah.
turns the carriage around.
You-
What is there? Just
You're
treasure
not the
chests
first
everywhere?
person to be lured
thing
off course
about-
by a box of loot, that's for sure.
Yep.
And you write him on the correct path here, and you head off into the unknown here. I don't think you've been down this path, so you come to the road that takes you along Turtle Lake, which is a big lake in the shape of a turtle. Look at it.
I was really hoping you would say it's a lake with a big turtle.
It's up to you, but if there is
yeah.
if there's a big turtle in there, it's probably a Tarrasque. So it's up to you if you want to go and investigate that.
Yay!
Yay!
But
It's friendly.
It is a lake in the shape of a turtle.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been wanting to come to Turtle Lake since I saw this map. I was like, we have to go to Turtle Lake, and now we're going.
Well, the problem with Turtle Lake,
Is
Is
it
that-
is a terrace?
many say that Turtle Lake is haunted. And let's find
Oh,
out
no.
if it is. And since it's you can roll me the d12 to find out.
Is it haunted by turtles?
Nope.
6.
It's haunted by terrible monsters.
No.
Dang it. It's my least favorite kind of haunting.
Yeah. It would have been way cooler if it was just like 100 turtles. The ghosts of 100 turtles.
Yeah?
Hear them whispering on the wind.
Yeah.
Or a Tarrasque lich.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that
Mm.
sounds less
A
fun.
giant ghostly Tarrasque.
Mm.
Okay. A 6. All good. Probably.
Okay.
You guys start
Probably.
moving across
I hate
the kind of very hilly and rough terrain. For a lot of this part of travel, there is no road. It is simply a matter of making sure that you keep the expanse of Turtle Lake on your south side in order to maneuver along. For a lot of this portion of the journey, it would be nighttime. So, does anybody offer to take the reins of the carriage overnight, and little
Oh, yeah.
Bruno can sleep in the back of the cart, or would you like to stop and camp here?
Given that
I
the whole
wouldn't
idea
mind.
was to save time, yeah, I think
Yeah, I wouldn't
splitting
mind
into
taking
shifts.
the reins. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Animal handling check from Merlin, please.
I'll go up and sit next to Merlin.
17.
17. While there have been many breaks throughout the day, just to give Pumpkin breaks, Pumpkin seems to be fine to carry on through the night, and Merlin takes the reins very simply and gently, able to overtake from little Bruno, who gets into the back of the cart, splays out. He does that thing that people do when they like star out in their sleep, making it maybe a little more awkward for Fix and Will to find a kind of comfortable position. In fact, both of you give me dexterity saving throws. Because he also does that. He also does that thing where people just
He's a
kick
sleep kicker.
and swing.
Oh, that's a 5.
Dex saves my weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Also a 5.
2 5s. During this time, both of you are kicked and hit relentlessly. Just
Him back.
you try and move, and then there's just a giant elbow that hits you, and then a leg comes out, and you're just continually being dinged by these fleshy hammers until the night passes. But it is uneventful. You are not attacked by any creepy things or a ghost or a Tarrasque or anything. But the terrain here is certainly weird. Some of the trees look a little more crooked. The darkness of the night seems a little darker. There are maybe some strange noises on the wind, but nothing too creepy, and certainly nothing compared to your experiences inside the mist itself as you pass through the night here. During the next day, Bruno will wake up and take over the reins again, and I'm just going to keep a track of how many days it has been. So this is the next morning, and that is Turtle Lake, which is where you are. So you're at Arias +1, which is the counter for Arias. And I think, and I might be wrong, this might be day 20. Might be more. I think I messed that one up. So the next day, sun rises again around 9, and you get a nice clear view of an expanse of a forest ahead of you. And little Bruno pulls the carriage up to a signpost. The signpost has an arrow pointing to the kind of southeastern road that says Gerfreda, and 2 wooden arrows, one saying Merrin's Keep, and then another that says Cull on it, heading northly. And he looks at it and then looks back at you, Fire, and says, "Yeah, you said you can read, but I don't believe you."
Okay. Where are we going?
We are going to Cull.
Okay.
Unless you mean
Is
you
Cull-
lot. You lot said you was going to Gerfreda,
Mm-hmm.
the big city,
Mm-hmm.
the old Stag's Head.
Okay. So coal does coal sound like a shorter word? Say them both out loud.
Them both.
Nope. Okay. I'll just pat him and I'll just point and go, that way's coal, that way's Gerfreda.
Right. So that makes this the crossroads in which we have to part.
We don't have to. You could bring us if you wanted.
Look, I understand what you're putting down. Right? But my mother said that if I don't sell all of these pelts before I get back to Perio Port, she's going to throw me into the drink. And you're very
Yeah.
beautiful. And I understand that we've
Thanks.
got a thing
Yeah.
going on right now.
Yep. Yeah, we do.
But she scares me a lot.
Yeah. Yep, I understand.
So if
as
you want
unfortunate
to come with me,
as
that's
it
fine
is.
as well. Because I
Oh,
tell you, my
so
mother would love it if I came back with
you
a wife.
Want me to be your?
I
you want
might
me to be
even
your
not have to
parents.
sell all these pelts if I came back with a wife, but I don't know. Anyway, how long does it take to get all the way around
you know,
before all these things are
how-
sold? Because maybe we could have a kid by then and all. Because she'd
Oh.
really like that. I mean, I don't think she's actually bothered about me getting married. I think what she wants is a couple of sprogs.
Yeah. Yep. Well, unfortunately, I'm not in the place to be childbearing.
I'll
and
get you a
this
ring.
point-
It's all right. We'll pick
and-
one up. But coal, maybe not coal. That's shit, innit? We can go to Som's Point. They probably got some nice
Yeah.
rings up there.
Yeah. I'm at this point. I'm kind of
I heard Som's
just
Point was
look-
attacked by a dragon.
looking
Oh,
at my
can you stop
friends.
flirting? We've got things to do.
Listen,
You just-
I can't. My urge is insatiable for this man.
Well, if it's meant to be, I'm sure you'll meet again, right? That's how it always
That's
works.
true. That is
Fix.
true. So we
Vic,
should
You have to let this one play out.
we should part ways, right, guys? We must part ways.
Well, you know where to
and-
look me up.
Yep, and you know where to look me up.
No, I don't. You didn't even tell me where you're from.
Yeah, all around. You
I
know
don't
the
even
tree.
know your name.
You know the tree.
The tree?
The
What tree?
the big. No, you probably don't.
He starts looking at the actual trees around him.
Not any of these.
one?
Nope. It's much bigger.
Right.
Maybe you could come to meet my family, and we can live in the tree. I'm from a tree. How does it? Do you want to live in a tree? Probably
No.
not.
No,
right?
I don't
Yeah.
really want to
So
live
maybe
in a tree.
this
Well, like a
isn't.
tree house or...
Maybe this isn't meant to be. I don't know.
Apparently there's a big old tree what people live in all the way in the south.
Oh, is there? What's it called?
Don't know.
Yep.
Errol's tree, I think.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right.
Maybe we'd have to go and ask Errol if we could live there.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we do when we inevitably meet again, because, you know, I'm sure that's what is at the end of our paths is each other. And
That's how it is, isn't it? That's how it is. They come, they
Yep.
go. You know what I mean?
You gotta let me go. And then, you know, if it's meant to be, I'll
All right then. Well, I'll see you all
Yep.
later. Thanks for using the services of little Bruno.
Yep, tell your mom I said hi.
And you always
My name's
get no
Fire.
missed discounts.
Okay.
They, oh.
Yep. Good luck. Safe travels.
Don't have any kids or anything.
Yeah.
Man's keep us that way, Bruno.
Right, yeah, straight up, cross there, Merrin's Keep. Yeah, no, right. I have been to Cole before, just never remember the way.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice you were turning the wagon.
What's that?
He's gonna die. He's gonna
He's
die.
100% heading west.
He's gonna
Say
die.
Back towards Mewett Tribe area.
He's gonna die out there, guys.
All right, bye. See ya.
Bye,
Bye.
Bruno. I believe in you.
Bye.
Love you.
The cart trundles off west.
Jesus Christ.
He's got to learn one way or the other.
He's
No,
a
he's
good
not gonna
lad.
make it. Yeah, he's gonna die. He wanted me to have his kids. It's for the best, I guess.
I mean, you didn't stab him to death, and honestly,
Yeah.
if he has that much charisma, I think he'll talk his way out of whatever trouble he gets into.
Yeah, I think you got
Totally.
along really well. I think you'd make a great couple.
Oh, do ya? That's
Mhm.
yep.
Hey, look, now you've got work in Kira and handsome husband waiting for
You
you
got
in Kira as
a
well.
whole
You're-
life set
you're-
up ahead of you.
You are
Yeah.
far ahead of the rest of us in terms of what
I'm
to do when
set.
this is all over.
He needs to take you to dinner first.
Yep. Can't wait to have his children. And I'll teach them to read.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. As a
their
group.
teeth
Yeah.
and brush their
All
hair.
11 of them.
Ooh, yep. That's me. Future mom.
Okay, so you find yourselves actually on a relatively clear path while you find yourselves kind of on the edge of what looks like a very dense forest. You know, based on the sign, that the path that you are facing will take you to Gerfreda. Based on the map that you guys own, probably looking something not too dissimilar than the one you have here. You know, you would be at the north end of the Turtle Lake, probably on the edge of this forest here, and the way to determine that you are definitely on track is to follow this path until you find a bridge. Once you find the bridge, you can follow the coast along to the city of Gerfreda. And Will has done this before, I think, so that is gonna help you in your checks. But you are on foot again, so give me one more set of checks depending on what you want to be doing during this time. I'm going to go ahead and assume that Merlin is going to be looking for mushrooms and things and stuff.
Yes, please.
But the rest of you, do you want to be scouting, navigating, whatever? it is. Again, because
Scout.
you're on a path, the survival check DC for navigation to make sure that you stay on route is much lower.
I will do the navigating, especially considering that I've taken this route before a few times in the past.
That'll lower it as well.
I scout ahead.
Okay. Vix and Vita.
I will navigate and Vita will scout.
Okay, so perception checks from Fire and Vita, and then survival checks from everyone else.
How low did it go is the question.
Out of weight to the floor.
Let's see.
I was just thinking after you said twice the check is low, and I'm like, yeah, but I can still roll a 1, Brad.
Yeah, it's true. That is very true. But you are all good. Merlin, what do you have to beat? Let me double check my notes. For discovery. You have to beat a 12?
That sounds about right.
Oh no, I have different ones for where you are. You're in the forest.
Oh.
So I think it's a 10. Yeah.
Yes.
I have so many notes now. This is after how long has this campaign been going? I think this is episode 33. So.
43 years.
Whoa.
So yeah, 10 for a forest.
Yay.
So you just make that. So you do find a set of those amanita mushrooms that you can make a potion with on a rest at some point. Fix, you're able to, with will, very clearly keep track of the path. This starts to head for a forest here, and the road, the path, is more of that kind of packed dirt, like as if somebody has gone through, dug up a relatively decent path, and then filled it with lots of packed stones and dirt in it, and then covered it in stones at some point. In places, it's covered in kind of a loose set of stones. In some places, it kind of, you lose track of it quite a lot, and you find yourselves kind of moving through what feels just like plain underbrush, but it's still not too difficult based because you're so close to Gerfreda, and this path is used a lot more than the smaller paths and lighter paths that you've been following. So the merchants keep the area relatively easy to follow, markings on trees and stones in places. So you two are easily able to follow the path. Merlin finds some mushrooms, and what were the perception checks? An 11 and a 7. So Vita, weirdly, is the one. How does Vita scout again? You're not walking into him the whole time. He just kind of warns you if something weird happens, was what it was,
just
right?
anything out of the ordinary. He just kind of is like, beep, 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 beep.
Like a metal detector.
Yeah.
The metal detector goes off, but nothing is attacking you. Nothing weird is happening in this area. I think maybe this is towards the end of the day here, and you're deep inside this kind of forested area. Really nothing around you other than just like a deep forest. But Vita is absolutely convinced that something is out there. And I think with your best understanding of what he's trying to convey, it really does come down to the fact that all of you are completely sure that there is nothing of any direct danger. There isn't like a creature that is moving in the underbrush. It doesn't seem to be anybody tracking you. It certainly doesn't seem like there are any bandits. It doesn't feel like the kind of area that you would lay an ambush for bandits. It's too dense. The forest is too difficult to hold down, and as you're moving along, you're constantly checking the road for markings or hidden traps or anything that you might be able to use to determine that. And it really doesn't seem like that to you guys at all. It seems like a relatively clear day while it's daylight, and as maybe it falls now to dusk, nothing going on. But Vita is freaked out by something.
I will walk into Vita and see if I can like get a sense for what they might be freaked out about, like the taste of it.
Give me an insight check, I guess.
Uh-oh. 16.
A 16. Let's see if now the problem for you here is Vita only got an 11, and Vita's incredible lack of knowledge and wisdom on everything, lack of everything.
I think I'd be looking
is-
through their eyes as well, so I'd be able to like see what they're fixating on, and like if it's just a general sense of unease, or if it's like something in particular they're fixated on, or.
Well, the problem for you is this. Vita didn't see anything,
Mm-hmm.
and Vita doesn't know. I think your understanding comes down to Vita's maybe even freaking himself out. It's probably that. You ever been like kind of home alone, and you hear a
Hairs on the back
noise,
of your neck,
and you're like, I'm sure it's fine, but then you start to get into your own head about it for a little bit. That's the feeling that you get from Vita, I think, at this point. That being said, really doesn't seem like there's anything here at all.
Okay.
How
I'll
far
hold
ahead
everyone
is
up.
Vita?
Yeah, Vita would be.
We can say that you have been aware of this for a little bit as you're traveling. You all can be aware of it and things, but
Has it got more intense, or is it just the same level of like unease?
I would say the same.
Okay.
Something freaked him out at some point.
And we didn't pass anything. Like there was no point. Like we passed over the bridge or anything like that when it started. It was just completely out of the blue.
Correct.
Hmm.
But before the bridge.
Right.
You'll probably hit the bridge tomorrow morning.
Okay. I don't understand what Vita's problem is. Is this the same feeling as when we were at the that place in the mist where Vita was like kind of freaking out before we found the demon?
No.
Okay.
Vita was freaking out then because of the direct link he has with the other princes and the demon of fire. So, no. Vita even, I think at that point, Vita kind of knew that there was definitely a danger coming for you. This feels more like when a cat will just stare at a corner of a wall,
Yeah. Okay.
or a dog growls at nothing, and you're
I
like,
hate this.
is the dog growling at nothing,
like
or
this.
is the dog growling at something, but we can't see it?
Wait here a moment. I'm going to walk up. Sorry. Wait here a moment. And I'm going to walk up next to Vita and use Divine Sense
Okay.
and see if I can't sniff out what.
Yeah. Remind me
Yes.
give me the Divine Sense blurb again.
Sure, I'll just copy it into the game. Boom. There and there.
Okay. Presence of strong evil. 60 feet. You can know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you. I will tell you if any of those things are in here. Now you get all of the same things that you always get. The dings from whatever is going on with Fix, that same sensation, the same sense from yourself. But there doesn't seem to be any creatures here at all. There's no like undead thing. There's no like invisible ghost or anything like that. There doesn't seem to be any kind of fiends. Nothing that's similar to Vita suddenly rushing up from underneath you at all.
Sure. I'll walk back to the others. Whatever it is, it's not like a supernatural force or a demon or anything like that. Perhaps a wild animals. I don't know.
Right. It's probably fine. Maybe I'll just check in with Vita more often and make sure it's not getting worse.
I don't know, has Vita's instincts ever been wrong before? Because I can't
No,
think of
but-
a time that...
What Vita thinks is scary is it can be anything from a demon prince to a puddle of water. You know, Vita's got a quite different perspective than we do.
True. I'm just thinking that so far, every time Vita's felt something was off, something has been off. So I guess we'll stay on our guard.
No, understood. Vita has never been wrong.
Okay. Keep moving.
Keep moving, and also
Yep.
don't stand too close together.
I'll walk forward more than I usually would and be closer to Vita, and I'll be checking in on them more and more.
Yeah, I think you guys step back into your formations here. Merlin keeping an eye on trees to see if there's any mushrooms growing on them. Fire will disappear off scouting ahead or scouting a little further off the road into the forests every now and then. Maybe you guys start to check behind you more often just to ensure that you aren't being followed at any sort of close range. But now that it's nighttime, it's a little more difficult to do those kinds of checks maybe, but it doesn't really seem at all like anybody is following you with maybe you do disjointed movements to allow anything that might be following you to kind of catch up and you catch a glimmer of them, but it doesn't seem like it. No lights following you or anything like that either. And you guys can walk on for another hour or two before the dead of night hits, and it's up to you whether you want to rest here or push through. The same thing, you can march through the night to make up time, but you run the risk of taking a point of exhaustion to do so.
Point of exhaustion's a long rest, right, to recover?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exhaustion is pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Although we wouldn't definitely get exhausted. We'd probably be rolling for it, right? I don't know. It's probably not worth the risk, even if it would save us a little bit of time in getting to Gerfreda.
I'd rather rest.
I'd rather rest too. Yep.
Yeah, just for our...
We'll find another bridge and set up on it like before.
Yeah. Okay. So you can roll me either survival or perception checks each to try and find like a good place to rest. Damn. Getting all them good rolls out now.
Don't say that.
So I think with those rolls, you start moving through the forest and doing the thing where you discuss whether you should rest, push on, see, try and figure out where you are. Maybe you're a little too far away from the bridge to justify kind of pushing towards the bridge and then staying on the bridge again. So you start looking through the forest for an area that looks a little more comfortable to rest on. Sometimes on these paths you do find like designated rest spots or spots that you can tell merchants often stay in, kind of like almost like a lay-by, a natural thing. I think as you start moving through this forest as well, you see remnants of civilization the closer you get to Gerfreda here while you're on this actual path, as opposed to if you had done the trek through the natural forest. There's all sorts of things. You pass by signs every now and then. You'll see little areas where maybe there were huts or houses or mills and things along the way. And you probably find a little area that you can settle in. Maybe like a little tower that was maybe once used as a little watch point. It's a decent area. And on a 23 and a 22, you find a pretty solid looking area that would serve for a strong and safe spot. An old tower, crumbling, kind of still together though, not like it's going to fall in on you on overnight. A little uphill, giving you a good vantage point and allowing you to actually put some walls and a roof over you for the evening. Assuming you all bundle into this tower and begin to prepare for the evening of rest. Each of you steps into this tower, middle of the night, probably we're looking dead of night here, something like 3 a.m. You step into this little tower, and there's a doorway that no longer has a door in it. On the other side of the tower, there's maybe an area where some of the bricks have fallen away to ruin, kind of creating two sort of openings, and both of them cover in ice, a wall of ice. And that's where we're going to go to a break for the evening. Thanks so much for watching the stream. We'll be back in a few minutes after the break here, and you can find out what's going on as well. Don't forget to check out our new show starting up called The Final Gift. It is a Warhammer only war, 40k only war campaign starting on January the 8th. And I'll play an ad for you right now, straight into the break. See you in a few minutes.
Death is the currency of war, and we spend it well.
Welcome back, everyone, as you, the party, step through over the threshold of the tower here on the road. You step into this tower that you find on the road. A small thing, kind of crumbling and broken, but does still have a basic roof over the top of it. When suddenly behind you, you notice a sheet of ice form, thick ice, running over the empty doorway. In front of you, a huge crack in the wall, easily big enough for you to fit through, almost kind of like a second doorway, covered in ice as well. The ice running up the doorways here, sealing the cracks and the windows of the tower as well, clearly kind of sealing you inside. You step forward, you note a couple of things that are inside here, even though it's mostly barren. When you hear a voice kind of disembodied around this tower say,
"Lock the door, blow out the light. The hungry army haunts the night."
You maybe take a few moments to gather yourselves, to look about, see if you can figure out where the voice is coming from, but there's nothing in the room with you that you can see. The voice says,
"One of these doorways is a dangerous trap. To step through it is to join those that have vanished here before. Be careful which icy door you choose to exit through, lest you join me in this tower forever."
The voice falls silent. You guys take a note of your surroundings. There is very little in this room, other than a few sets of clothes. And as you stepped over the threshold, you'll see that underneath the kind of natural debris that has blown in from the outside, there is cloaks on the ground from previous people that maybe have come into this tower before. Sets of boots and trousers, belts, not just in this threshold, but the kind of opening on the other side as well. Aside from that, the floor is kind of just broken stone, covered in dirt and leaves. At one end of the northern side of this little tower, there is a satchel as well. Other than that, nothing in here, and I'm going to give you a map as well, just to give you something to look at.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Give you an idea of kind of like where you are, what the deal is, and what you are looking at. The icy doorways sealing your exits, the clothing strewn about in front of them, and then a satchel over here. What do you guys do?
I just look up and go, are we on a time limit or can we go to sleep?
No
I don't
response.
even know if.
Okay.
And we just wanted a place to stay the night.
I know. I don't think
This
any of us
is
can get any
strange, though.
sleep.
This is
We're
very
trapped.
strange because this place is right along the road to one of the biggest cities in the realm. So it's strange that a trap like this would be set up so close to a populated area.
Well, they probably
It's probably precisely why something like this is here.
probably
Well,
have a high
I guess
success
what
rate.
I guess what I'm saying is word would have traveled, you'd think. Somebody came in here and didn't come back.
Not to us.
They maybe get moved elsewhere. Or
That's
they
true.
never get out.
Or perhaps whatever being set this thing up just moves about as it pleases. Alright, well, let's focus on not spending the rest of our lives locked in this tower.
Agreed.
Brad, which of these doors did we enter from? The west or the southeast?
You entered from this one, the southeast.
Okay. And there's piles of clothes by both doors?
Yes.
Can we see through these sheets of ice, or are they solid?
You can see through them, but it's kind of translucent, right? So it's very thick and misty to see through.
Okay. Does it look like the outside has changed at all from where we walked through?
No. You
Okay.
seem to be in the same place, though it seems
So
to
if I
sealed
walk
up
over here
behind
and if I walk over here and look through this western gate, does it look normal outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
I walk into Vita and just see if Vita has any extra, sensing going on. Is extra scared of this or?
Yeah, give me another insight check from you.
8 insight checks, 12.
I think you get the sense of almost like an "I told you so."
He's going like this.
But Vita, I mean, I can passively give you that Vita doesn't really have any more insight on this than you would. I can't imagine.
I recall Vita into my necklace.
Okay.
And then I'd like to check this satchel.
Okay. You reach out and grab it with your hands. Just picking it up.
I kind of want to detect magic before we touch anything.
I'd probably inspect the outside before I pick it up, because if it's the only thing over here, that's pretty suspicious.
Yeah.
So.
But did
Merlin?
you touch it with your hand?
You want to Control Z that thing where you just swiped it up
I
willy-nilly?
said I'd take a look at it, not pick it up.
All right.
I think Merlin would take a notice that Fix is curious about the satchel. So
Yeah.
I think he would get her attention and maybe then just close his eyes and detect magic.
So, Fix, give me an investigation or a perception check. Merlin, you will get all of the stuff. Fix, this looks like a normal satchel to you.
Yeah.
Just
I'm going to
kinda
use Dark
old.
One's own luck and roll a d10 to add to my roll.
don't even know
Which
what you
is-
just did there, but sure.
It's my 6th level warlock thing.
I believe you
My
fully.
6th level warlock bullshit.
5,
So
making that a
13.
13. This is definitely just a normal satchel. However, Merlin, at the same time, you will get the understanding of the schools of magic that are at work here. So, with the satchel is a normal satchel. No crazy things going on in there. However, inside there is one magical item that you are getting the illusion school of magic from. You're also getting School of Illusion from the icy barrier that's around the tower. Though the two ice walls that are, the ice doors that are blocking on either side of this tower are kind of pinging back a little different to you. They're both illusions. They're actually so much illusions that you feel like you can probably walk through them. There's probably not actually a physical ice wall there. But there is an enchantment to the illusion itself. Since the whole thing is technically one spell, passing through the illusion is the issue, I think. There's an enchantment on the illusion itself. So actually you get the sense that there is no ice there. And if you were to put your hand through either of the doorways, it would pass straight through. But depending on what this enchantment does, you might have to meet a certain requirement before you can pass through it or something like that.
Okay. I think this is information.
What does detect? Hang on a minute. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Wonder if you can. This is just a curious question. Okay. Yeah. All good. That's it. That's all you see. You may also. I will allow you to have a free. Something's not right here. The same as Vita.
Okay.
But I think you probably picked up on that.
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely relay all this information as well to the rest of the party. That these icy doors are but illusions, and we still have to choose very wisely as to which path we do take if we leave, which I presume we all do. Don't want to hang around here.
You're saying there's an item in here that is causing these illusions?
I don't detect anything harmful with that, so you could.
Two separate illusions: the ice and the thing that is holding you in here, plus the enchantment on these two doorways, particularly, and the illusion magic coming from inside the satchel are different spells.
I guess then Merlin would then suggest to fix that maybe she opened the contents of the satchel.
You have that magic hand thing, don't you? It might be best to shake it out with that.
Could do that. He'll
just in case.
Merlin will then use the mage hand to pick up the item that's within the satchel.
Yeah, you see this kind of spectral hand float over to the perfectly normal satchel, lift the top flap of the satchel and reach in to pull out. You're specifically going for the magical item that's in here because there's several things in here aside from the magical thing. The hand rummages around, and then you pull a small piece of paper out. It is kind of rolled up so as to make it difficult to open without two hands, I guess. I don't really know how Mage Hand works with that, but...
I guess I would have the little mage hand float back towards me, and I would reveal the contents of this scroll.
Yeah, you touch it. It's completely fine. Nothing in here is going to hurt you if you touch it.
I hate you.
So
Except
much.
maybe paper cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't test us, Brad. We will paper cut ourselves to death to prove a point.
So you, Merlin, in fact, you can just have the entire contents of the satchel because that's how I set it up. In the satchel, you see that there is a potion in there that you recognize to be a potion of resist cold. You see a set of boxing gloves, a set of leggings, a set of lockpicks, a pair of boots, and this note. The note, Merlin, you can read for the class. Here you go.
Oh, okay. A boxer made it through where the knight failed. A dancer made it through where the barbarian failed. A thief made it through where the ogre failed, is what this scroll reads. It's like some sort of riddle.
Do you think it's saying we should use finesse?
Seems to be that way, although I would argue that a boxer would be quite strong anyway. But yes,
Right, but they dance, right? Like on their feet.
so do knights. Question is, what does that have to do with ice and cold?
That I don't know, but everything within this satchel here, it connects with the scroll here.
Sorry, are the scroll and the note the same thing here?
The note is just a little piece of paper. Merlin, you are actually, I guess you probably still have the spell up. The writing on the piece of paper is the illusion.
Oh, got it.
So there's
if we
also
know
a
it's an
scroll. Do we
illusion.
see what it says?
There's no scroll in there. I don't know where the scroll came from. The entire
Just a
content
note.
of
Sorry.
what's written on here. It's okay. It's because it was rolled up. It's a small
Yeah,
little note,
no.
like you might attach to like a bird or something, like a
Yeah,
tiny
okay.
little thing.
It's a post-it.
It's a post-it note.
If we know it's an illusion, can we try and see through it?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, Merlin understands it fully. It's just that
Okay.
this writing is the illusion. There's no twist or change. That like it's not like it is a thing that can be changed or seen through. It really is just that the writing seems to be being projected by an illusion here, whereas everything else is real.
So, boxing gloves for the boxer, leggings for the dancer, lockpicks for the thief. And what about the boots?
Hard to say. Everyone wears boots, right? It says made it through where the knight failed. Made it through. Made it through where though? Through these one of these two doors, I suppose.
Which one?
Do the clothes look at all like they would match any of these items in either of the doorways?
Give me a group investigation check. You got to be at 50.
12, 30.
Ooh.
Enough. I can't count.
I think that's 49.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
49.
Dang
Oh
it.
no.
49. Okay.
What
so
about
Wait,
Vita?
Vita. Let
Vita.
Vita help.
Vita's been recalled.
Vita doesn't know
God.
what clothing is even, so. So on the fail, but a high fail here, you get. Okay, so the clothing on the ground looks very kind of old. They old as in not like an ancient civilization's clothing. Old as if they've been here for a long time. The cloaks here are all very kind of similar looking, as if the group that maybe passed through here belonged to or bought them from the same place or belonged to maybe the same group of people. Not anything distinct on them, like a logo or a sigil or anything, but the cloaks of all the things here look like the best well-made thing and kept. But there are 4 cloaks 4 tunics, 4 sets of trousers, 4 belts, 4 pairs of shoes or boots, and other than that, they do not appear to be very distinct to you at all. They don't. There's no armor or weapons here either. It just looks to be a set of clothing that you might find on an average person who might be out traveling, you don't get the idea that these are they don't belong to like a group, and they don't have leather armor or plate mail or anything like that. And there's nothing that betrays any sort of sportsmanship. So essentially, you kind of don't get the idea that this is a knight, a boxer, a dancer, and a thief or anything like that. But you get more of a sense of them being kind of just your average clothing. But they're pretty plain looking. And I don't think you can really determine much else than that on your 49.
I am going to look around the room, and then on the off chance that whatever creature or being set this up is in the room with us invisibly or something like that, I'm going to try Divine Sense one more time in the center of the room and see if it's in here.
Yeah. You cast this ability again, and you get the same sense from all of the things that you're expecting. A fix being a demon, or at least having part demon going on. But yeah, you don't get the sense of much. There's no undead fiend thing in here with you. And what was the other thing you get? Celestial. Yeah, you get there's no sense that there is a creature in here with you that is, immediately brought to your attention with that.
Okay, and also no consecrated or desecrated ground, like hallowed ground anywhere?
No, I think you probably get the sense of evil, maybe. But then evil and good is a whole. We've been through this before, whether it, how that can be perceived. But I think Will would certainly perceive that this area and that this spell, this enchantment, whatever is going on here, whatever being might or might not be here, definitely does not have any sort of friendly or good intentions, and you get the sense that it is certainly evil, but it's not consecrated or desecrated in the way that you certainly felt with some of the other elements. For example, when you were in the graveyard in the mist, and you got that very extreme sense of that. This just seems like good old-fashioned trickery and magic, and there's probably a creature or a curse or a spell of some sort going on, but it doesn't fall underneath any of the categories that gives you access to.
Right. Whatever's doing this, I don't think it's in the room with us. It's watching us from somewhere else. So here's a thought. Perhaps it's cheating, but Fire, that trick you do where you reappear somewhere else.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
I don't suppose you could just reappear outside.
I could try. Let's hope I don't.
Well, let's think it through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might
we
prove
do.
to be risky.
Right, yes. I mean, you're still passing sort of through this illusory barrier, even if you do it that way. Do we believe the writing in the satchel to be trustworthy? Because if so, perhaps we just need to, I don't know, use the things that were inside.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
I just don't quite understand. Do we maybe perhaps have to play a game of dress up?
There's a potion of resist cold, which makes me think, what if one person just drinks that potion, puts everything on, and goes through, but then which door?
3 of us left.
Well, I
Right,
think
I was-
maybe.
I was thinking
What-
perhaps if we don the items in there, I put on the boxing gloves, someone else
Yes,
slides the
I was
leggings
thinking
and the
the same.
lockpicks on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still only 3 of the 4 of us, so does that mean the 4th person's gonna get blasted by ice?
Well, there's the potion of, well, resisting cold, so.
In the
That's what it-
lockpicks, maybe we just carry them?
Aren't you already carrying your own lockpicks?
Mm-hmm. Do they... Do
they
the
look the same?
lockpicks look special? Like magical? Or do they just look like a regular set?
They probably look like whatever a normal set of lockpicks looks like. I don't think they look... I think everything here looks pretty plain
Yeah.
looking. Yeah.
They're not special.
Right. Well, something tells me that the creature that set up this little game is more patient than we are, and will sit here and watch us forever if we don't make a move.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to have to attempt something.
I could
What did it
try
say?
one more thing.
What's that?
Could ask my patron friend for some advice. If there's ice magic involved, some entity that we aren't aware of, it might have some insight.
If you want to do that, then go for it. The last couple times that I've communed with other entities have not enjoyed the results.
You communed with the mist, right?
Yeah.
I don't know
If
if
you
this will be
wanna-
the same, but
I don't think it's the same. I'm just saying I'm done with it personally. If you want to take that risk, then go for it.
I would not advise, but if you feel that might be perhaps the best course of action, then of course I will support it.
While you deliberate on that, I'm going to do some more conventional investigation. But yeah, if you want to do that, then go for it.
I'm gonna put on the leggings.
Okay. You
Just
now
for
have-
fun.
Yeah, just to see if they fit.
Merlin's playing dress up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Merlin
they
puts the leggings over his entire body.
yeah, I don't think they fit you. They seem like they were probably
No, they're too big.
yeah, they would for somebody much taller and maybe lither than you, maybe an elf. But you put them on, I mean, nothing crazy happens to you while you do it. Certainly
No.
have them on.
I thought they
I'm
would,
going to-
magically just fit my size, and, Merlin
I'm going to try
disappointedly takes them
putting-
off.
Sorry, I'm going to try putting my experience as a mason and an architect to use, since this is a stone tower. And I'm just going to investigate, the structural integrity of this whole place, check for weak points, especially where these walls appear to be crumbled, and
Yeah.
look to see if there's anything exploitable here.
Yeah, give me the. Is it a history check?
I think it's a mason's tools check, although I'm not even sure if you make that with strength or wisdom. When I added it to my character sheet, it gave me this.
Oh, that's what is that? Double proficiency, I guess. Well, with the 16, you get the answers that you're looking for. This is a the tower itself appears to be a legit thing, and maybe with your understanding of military things, it looks like it was probably once just a very simple watchtower, the type of thing used by the military. Towards the top, there was maybe another platform that was probably once upon a time wooden, but has long since fallen away, either to rot or just decay. You can see that they have those smaller windows that you would fire arrows out of. I forget what they're called, but they have the little kind of caved area, and then the arrow slits that you could fire through. You can see a few of those up there. With the doorway is pretty large as well, which is more common with militaristic buildings, because they allow for larger forces or things to come through, and bigger creatures as well if they were to employ Goliaths and stuff. So you get the sense that this is a very, very old watchtower that was probably used hundreds and hundreds of years ago, but has just been left. The integrity was your other question. It seems fine. It's an old, crumbling tower that's several hundred years old. It's not going to fall in at any point. But if you want to, you could probably mess it up. I mean, you guys have spells available to you aside from Will's slightly superhuman strength here, the super serum Will. You could probably hit the walls and break them and stuff. But while if you wanted to do that, you could do it. But Merlin knows that the entire tower is covered in the spell. So it just appeared kind of like it was closing the largest doorways. But all of the windows are sealed as well, and the cracks in the walls. So it's kind of like sealed you in, as it is. And since we're at this point, everyone make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Christ.
Fix, ironically, and I think maybe this is the reason that you are the only one that failed this here. For the first time in a long time, maybe ever, you feel really cold. It's getting colder. Now, this fail doesn't do anything to you, but I think all of you would be aware that it's getting colder. Fix, you notice that it's uncomfortably cold. Like, the temperature is dropping very rapidly in here. Type of thing where you probably don't want to be in here forever. But it's certainly getting colder. Fix, you're starting to get uncomfortably cold. And I don't know how you experience that, because I don't think Fix gets cold, ever.
No.
So, that's up to you. Yeah,
Okay.
you all know that it's getting colder. Fix, it's uncomfortable.
I'd probably just be freaked out. I've never felt this before. And I have no idea what this sensation is.
You would have felt cold when you were a little kid, though.
A long time ago, though. Like,
I guess.
would I remember that? I don't know. I guess
That's
maybe
up
a
to
bit.
So I'm remembering the scene in Chrono Trigger where Frog splits the mountain open, and I was contemplating attempting that on one of the walls here. But
You can definitely break the walls, I think. The place is strong enough to withstand like relatively extreme weather, as it seems to have done over the years. But if you were to take any sort of like legit brute force to it, you could probably crumble and break through it. That being said, all you would be faced with is a third door, kind of ice door thing.
right, yeah, I was thinking the whole thing's illusory anyway, so it'd be boxing with shadows. Any ideas, Merlin?
Well, I presume, well, with what's been inscribed here too, along with the satchel, well, maybe perhaps we all each wear something that, well, made it through, essentially. The boxer, the dancer, and the thief. And then the last person would take the potion. Question is, which door remains?
Well, the two doors don't appear to have anything distinct to them at all, so it's just a coin toss.
You know, apart from the garments that lay, but
What were his words again at the beginning about the doors, specifically?
He said one of these doorways is a dangerous trap. To step through is to join those that have vanished here before. Be careful which icy door you choose to exit through, lest ye join me in this here tower forever.
I hate that there's clothing in both doorways.
no, it doesn't help. It looks like, you know, whoever was here previously, well, they didn't make it either door.
Actually, you said that. I think you said that when we looked at the clothing, we didn't find anything belonging to like a boxer or a dancer or whatever. What about knight, barbarian, and what was the other one?
Yeah, you don't find anything like that either. No armor that would betray maybe a knight. No tribal elements that might betray a barbarian or anything. The clothes look like if They could be from any random person off of a street in a town.
All right. Well,
Clearly the door we came through is a trap. Maybe it's as simple as that. May go out the opposite door.
It would be lovely if it were that simple, but illusions and wizards are... No offense, Merlin.
None taken.
It's never that simple. All right. Well, I don't know if it's just me, but it's getting much colder in here, so we need to make a move. I'm gonna walk up to this door, and I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out the one item that I know everyone is excited for. The yo-yo that I got at the end of the last session. And I'm going to unravel it and just toss... I'm going to keep the string on my finger and just toss it through and see if anything happens.
All right. First of all, let's see if you can even do that, because that's quite cool. That's quite tough to do with a yo-yo. So give me a performance check.
Wait. Literally just tossing it?
Yeah,
okay.
you think yo-yos are
Performance
super
check.
common? You can get rid of a Toys R Us in the Dark Realm. If a kid had a yo-yo. Yeah, you
This
did.
kid did. I got a
You
16.
did, rich kid. There is a Toys R Us in Guardia. There's like a little shop in the end of an alleyway that sells all these little wooden yo-yos and things. Yeah, you do. You spin the yo-yo out. It goes straight through the illusion. It looks like, and it's probably a little trippy for a moment, as it looks like it's going to hit just a solid wall of ice, but it goes straight through it and comes back to your hand.
And then I'll just walk to the other door and repeat the exact same motion.
Same thing.
Well, that doesn't help.
I have an idea.
What's that?
And I'm sure none of you are going to judge me at all, right?
No.
Before I do it, right?
We would never dream of it.
Okay. And I will take out the onyx dog statue.
Uh-huh.
And I want the dog. And I'm going to
I retract my
I'm joking.
statement.
I'm gonna use the dog and try to have it go through one of the doors and figure out, which one will trap it forever and which one will just let it leave.
Okay. First,
You monster.
First of all, you're a terrible person.
I'm evil,
Secondly-
man.
no.
Listen.
Nothing like that. First of all, roll
me a morality check.
me a D. What would this be actually? This would be a check. Let me just do a check. No, you know what? Roll me a D20 and I'll add your modifier to it in secret.
13. Which is my lucky number. That has to mean something, right? That's good, right?
13. Okay. 13 will give you this. You pull out the onyx dog. You look at it. How are you attempting to summon this dog here?
I turn towards the wall, away from everyone else, because I feel there's a tinge of guilt here. Just a tiny, tiny little bit of guilt. And I'm just holding it in both my hands. And I just pull it up to my mouth and I go, come on, little buddy. And I kind of hold it out in front of me. Come on.
The figure of the onyx on the dog shifts and changes right before your eyes, almost as if it melts. The image distorts away from being just a very plain kind of looking dog into the form of a creature that grows and swells in size. It gets kind of, it gets too big for your hand as you're holding this thing, but the weight of the onyx doesn't seem to change. The eyes on the onyx figure glow a deep red, and there's a heat that rushes down your hand, not uncomfortable. There's a sense that the creature that you are pulling here does not want to come out to play right now.
So it doesn't? Or I've forced it to and it's mad?
Nope. No sense of danger from this thing. But the
It just
dog
doesn't.
does not want to come out to play right now.
Probably for the best.
You can command it to do so.
Nope. I'll just go. I'll just hold it closer to me and just go, okay, that's okay. You don't have to. And just try to just put it back away gently.
The dog realized it was about to be used as bait.
For the
Or as a
three,
pig.
for the three of you that were watching, nothing changed. In her hand was an onyx dog.
She's just talking to it.
For
Never mind, you don't have to.
for you, Fire, the onyx dog shifted and changed into kind of like a wolf-like figure, kind of a strange-looking wolf-like figure. There is a weird sense of recognition that you have with it, but not something you can put your finger on. Too difficult.
Okay.
But for you, whenever you look at this now, the eyes on this onyx figure are red. And if you move it around, it does that thing where the kind of lines follow in the air. Kind of like if you look at
Ooh,
sparklers in the
yeah.
night, it does that as you move it around. But again, for everyone else here, it would appear to be the same kind of onyx dog.
Yeah. I'll just turn around and say, it doesn't want to come out.
Oh.
And I didn't feel like making it. Should I? Should I?
No. If
No?
it doesn't want to come out, maybe it should
Yeah.
should stay that way.
Something tells me that could only make this worse.
Yep, probably not a good sign that it doesn't want to come out
Okay.
in this
well,
location.
we've done enough guessing, so I guess it's that time.
Do you want me to throw there? I'll throw the leggings on and just dance through if you want me to.
I will. I had actually started like unlatching my armor when she says that and say, "Oh, well, if you want to volunteer to go first."
I mean,
Maybe you should
it's-
let me ask first.
It's up to you. I don't want you to do something you don't want to do.
I don't want to go through either of those doors, just as much as I don't want to talk to this thing.
I really hope that I'm right, and that the first door we went through was the trap they were referring to. And I want to be right for two reasons. One, because that means that it's the easy answer where we just go through this other door. And two, Will doesn't think it's right, so if it is right, then I get to say I told you so and I win.
Huh?
Yeah.
Right.
One of them's a door and one of them's a crack in the wall, right?
Yeah, but they're both, I guess not doors, but
Yeah. All right. Anyway. Oh,
opening.
Let's just hope that Fix's patron is more benevolent than the mist creatures.
all right.
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'll sit down, like legs crossed, and close my eyes, and try and reach out. And I'll probably call in my mind as well, and just Shamsil.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
A 6.
Here's what I will do. You don't get you're certainly not making a phone call here on a 6. But I will give you a clue in exchange for something bad will happen to you at some point in the future. Now, this is me speaking to you, Leah, and that is the exchange that will happen. That, I mean, Fix wouldn't be aware of because this is now Fix sending a weird message out to a literal demon.
I think if Fix is desperate enough to try this, then I think that's a risk I'll take as well. So I'll take the clue.
So, from Fix's perspective, weirdness. The cold that you experience is no longer cold. I don't know if Fix treats their arm and the demonic energy that is powering your abilities and the ice abilities and stuff as a separate thing from them, but here it becomes that. The parts of you that are flesh and tiefling and horns and things is lost to the ice that builds your other arm, and you feel the cold around you. The cold in this room becomes much colder for everyone else in the room. You lot give me a Constitution saving throw. All make it, but you notice a significant drop. It gets really cold. Fix, do you have the gauntlet on?
Yeah.
Okay. So you probably don't see much going on with Fix, but the arm is doing some weird stuff. Fix, there are 4 sets of clothing and 5 sets of boots in the room. And you were correct to identify one of them as a doorway and the other one as not a doorway. You come back to your body. It is really cold in here now, and you feel it too.
Did it get colder in here?
I
Oh, it
assume
most
from the
certainly.
sudden drop in temperature that
Yes.
your icy overlord was helpful.
We didn't get to chat.
Oh, could have fooled me.
But like I said, one of them is a door, and one of them is not a door.
A literal crack in the wall, just a huge piece of broken wall.
What if... Hold on. What about right here by the satchel? If all of the people who made it out, all of their belongings... There's an exit there, right? And there's an exit there with things scattered by both. I want to look at the wall behind where the satchel is with the gloves and everything else from the people who, quote, made it through. And I'm going to reach out and just check the wall here and see if there's maybe an exit that's covered by an illusion.
No, I don't think you need to make a check.
Okay.
It's just part of the wall. The only exit is the door frame. That no longer has a door in it.
You said 5 pairs of boots.
Yeah, there are
4
4
items
sets
clothing.
of clothing that would belong to people that seemingly just kind of disappeared. But there are 5 sets of boots in the room.
Is that including the set that was in the satchel?
Mm-hmm.
What if one person tries everything on? if
I'll
anything
do it if you
happens.
want. Is that what we want to do? I'll pick up the leggings.
I mean, we could try that. I feel like the more obvious answer would be each of us puts on one of these 4 things, including that pair of boots, even though they're not really mentioned in the note.
I feel like the boots are a trap.
That, or we have to somehow match the boots with, well, whoever made it out successfully. The boxer, the dancer, and the thief. But
What if they're all the
Actually,
same person? Is what I was
Right,
thinking.
what if Fire's onto something? What if the boxer, dancer, and thief was just one person of all those professions?
true. That is
Okay,
possible.
let's try it then. We'll be the guinea pig. I'll do it if no one else is willing.
I already have the leggings. And I'll just
Okay.
kind of glance at Merlin and then glance at Fix and just
Marlon's snuck the lockpicks.
I'll bring the cold resist potion along with the other stuff over and hand it to Fire.
I'll start putting
Yeah.
everything on. Should I take it? You want me to drink it now or?
If things start getting any colder, perhaps you should, but before you step through the door, just in case, let's take every available precaution. And I'm gonna put my hand on Fix's, or Fire. Why do you both have names that start with F and I? I'm gonna put my hand on Fire's forehead and say, Ox Tutela, and cast protection from evil and good on her before she attempts this.
When you cast that, I grab my chest as if I'm dying. Ah!
No,
No? Ah. Okay.
not even for a moment.
Next time.
At least that one spell I've got a lot of practice on at this point.
So you want me to... Everyone is in it. We all agree. I have everything on. And you want me to walk through the door?
He said one of the doorways is a dangerous trap, but only one of them is a door.
Right. Assuming he was speaking truthfully, which we really have no guarantee, but that would mean the broken crack in the wall would be the exit.
So you want me to go through the crack?
We have to try something sooner or later, so yes.
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing what we all want me to do.
Well, the reality is, we could have theories all day, but at the end it's just kind of a leap of faith, so...
Okay. All right.
I don't feel good about this.
Should I walk through or should I... Misty
I
step?
think I would try doing it as carefully as you can. After all, the note did seem to indicate that a certain element of finesse is needed here and not brute force. So,
Okay.
do that thing where you slink through the shadows, I suppose.
Yep. All right. I will put everything on.
Marlon's gonna tuck the lockpicks in. I know you have lockpicks. Marlon's gonna tuck the lockpicks in those pants. But you're not gonna
Okay.
leave without these. Take them with you.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to Misty step through the
Right
crack.
before you do it,
Ah!
Fire, in case, you know, this is a one-way trip and we never see each other again, I just
Yeah.
want you to know, you look
Yeah.
ridiculous with boxing gloves on.
Okay. Well, anybody? No. Okay. No matter what happens, tell Bruno that I died if you see him again. And you don't see me again. Just okay. And I'll Misty step
All right, you're Misty stepping where? It's 30
through
feet,
the
right?
crack. Yep.
This way?
I'll move over here and then go through the crack.
And you want to go just outside.
Yep.
It's up to 30 feet. Yeah, Misty step goes off and you land here.
Okay. Does everything look normal around me, or am I in hell?
Look, you're in the forest. You
Okay.
can see the icy door in front of you, or the icy cracked wall in front of you. You can see you've still got gloves on your hands and leggings on and all the clothes and things and stuff. Nothing has changed.
Guys, can you hear me?
You
Can we
probably
hear her?
can't. I would imagine you actually probably hear like a through ice thing. So yeah, I'm gonna say not really. You probably hear you can hear that she's making noise.
Do we see her through the wall?
You can see like a figure, like she's clearly moving around in there.
I'm boxing nothing, just scared.
Did she make it through, or is that just another illusion?
Pretty sure no one else would be dressed that absurdly. It's got to be her.
I'll do this,
Question.
the sign. This thing that we did. The sign that we made up that means whatever, nothing.
Question is, would we be able to follow her without wearing those items?
Can she pass them back through?
Can I walk around to the other entrance?
You're out.
Yeah.
If Fire walks around to the other entrance, I was actually about to ask her to do exactly that. If I look through this door, can I see her?
Yep, it looks the same as the other side.
I'll try to put my hand through.
Put your hand through the thing. Okay.
Don't.
No.
Don't.
We were so close.
Well,
God.
And you done messed it up.
Yeah.
Fire reaches out, puts her hand to the thing, goes to reach through, and from your perspective on the other side of the wall, the three of you just see a pile of clothes land on the ground. As Fire disappears and vanishes, all of her clothes and things hit the ground. There's a few bits and bobs that roll off a little ways, the gloves, the boots, and her armors and things. She vanishes.
I look back to see if Merlin and Fix were looking this way to make sure that they saw what just happened.
Definitely
Yeah, I would've
was
been watching.
looking. Oh my.
But where did she go? What did she do?
She touched it.
The door?
Yes.
Why?
And now, I don't know, but all of the items that allow us to pass through the wall potentially are now out there, but we can't reach them. So there's
The
only one
worst
way this is
part
gonna
is,
work.
she teleported through. She didn't even walk through the door. I don't know if that even works the same.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're about to find out. I've seen her do that trick now 6 or 7 times. Okay. I'm gonna mimic exactly Fire's words, motions, and spellcasting incantations and cast Misty Step and try to pass through the door.
Successful. Yeah, you do the same thing. It takes a moment as Will readies himself and then mimics everything and then appears on the other side.
It actually worked. Okay, I thought I was gonna mess that spell up.
Merlin? Can
Come
you
on,
do
if I
that?
can
can't.
cast that spell, I know you two can.
I look at Merlin.
I can't. I can't, but, I mean, surely you can just simply pass through. This is the right door, is it not?
There's no guarantee.
I'm gonna run around to find Fire while they're figuring out how to get through.
I think Merlin's just gonna step right through the door without Misty stepping.
Okay. Then Merlin also... Oh, wrong button. Turns into a lighter and disappears. Clothes
could've
dropping to
got
the
us both out.
ground, hat kind of falling down, very Obi-Wan style. Just a pile of clothing now. Joins the other piles of clothing here. His shoes, his bag, the staffs that he's got as Merlin vanishes. Will, on the outside here, you do see that all of Fire's things are there. It is almost as if she has literally just vanished. A lot of physical things are still there.
Merlin? I'm gonna go grab Merlin's things, and then I'm gonna Misty Step out as well.
Okay. Same thing. Grab Merlin's things, Misty step out. The two of you are now outside.
Where's... Oh, please tell me.
He went through before I could stop him.
You have that spell that can move you both,
I know,
right?
I know. He went through
Why would
before
he-
I could stop him. And I used... He knows because I did it last time we were here.
He's probably not thinking clearly. He was in a hurry to
Oh,
save
I know.
Fire.
And... yeah, Fire is his priority.
Right. Well, all of her stuff is here, including her clothes, belongings, and everything else.
I just drop Merlin's stuff on top of Fire stuff. I wonder if this will go away on its own.
2 new friends and 2 for dinner.
You two roll me initiative.
6.
And 11.
The creature speaks. Give me perception checks.
15.
Blind as a bat.
Yeah. Fix, you hear this voice. Well, you both hear the voice, but Fix, you realize suddenly that the voice is coming from above you this time. It's not just this thing that is echoing around inside this chamber, inside this castle, in tower, but there is in fact a creature that begins to manifest at the top of the tower, maybe about 60 feet above you. Will would probably need that information, but just so you know, it's about 60 feet above you. There is a thing that begins to appear, kind of dropping an invisibility as you start to see the form of this creature. At first you might think it to be an ogre, before you realize that it's a little different. It has these small horns on the front of its head, and as this skin under the moonlight takes a more visceral form, you see that it's got a deep blue hue to it. While it looks about the same size as a very large ogre, it's holding on to the top of this tower with long talons sticking out of the end of its fingers. And you both, I guess, can give me nature checks with disadvantage.
Oh.
Just roll it twice.
Mm-hmm.
This thing looks like a demonic ogre. It's got very dark hair underneath a cloak that's wisping behind it. These little horns, these huge eyes with white pupils, and a mouth filled with teeth. This kind of innate magical resonance coming from it as it's holding onto this thing and reveals itself to you. Will, you have no idea what this is, but Fix, you recognize this as an Oni. Kind of what this essentially is an ogre mage, but a little more. Yeah, you know what? It's an ogre mage, but they're nasty creatures and extremely rare. Usually, the thing of children's stories more than a thing that you would see. But this is a thing that is appearing in front of you, and the magic spell, the ice of the thing, drops, and the Oni slides around the top of the tower into a hole in the top of through the top of this tower and falls the 60 feet. There's a crack as it lands in front of you on the inside and stretches itself to its full height. This enormous thing is going to join you as the two of you will fight with the Oni on a 7. So, first person to react is Will. This thing lands in front of you, calls you dinner. What do you do?
I will just respond by looking back at it and saying, give them back, and maybe you can walk away.
Small mortal. You will be dinner. They will remain trapped here forever.
So be it. I will mark target and step. Now, okay, you said that the ice wall disappeared. Is it like very obvious that everything here is dissipated so I don't step through this door and get gotcha?
Yeah, 100%. The spell was clearly broken as it jumped down here. Sort of almost as if it revealed its invisibility and jumped down and was kind of moving into his own kind of attack form here.
Okay, then I will step forward here and I will use my transformation menacing aura, which is this thing here, which I haven't used in a while. And he needs to beat a... Is it a charisma save? It is a charisma saving throw, DC 15, or be frightened until the end of my next turn.
Okay, let me check. What its thing is. Wisdom, did you say? Oh, charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw.
Let's go. On a natural 20-25.
He ain't scared.
Sorry, he is not scared this time.
I had a feeling. It's okay. I'll just posture up in front of him and end my turn.
Okay. The creature in front of you, a huge cloak on its back, looks towards the two of you and takes in a very deep breath. And he's going to cast Cone of Cold, which is going to hit 60 foot in front of him, so the both of you will need to do things for this. A blast of cold air erupting from his mouth. Both of you give me con saving throws.
18.
18 is a make, 11 is
And
a
11.
fail. You will take the full amount of 31 cold damage. Fix. Do you have resistance to cold damage? I feel like you do.
No, just
You
fire
don't?
damage. We didn't homebrew that bit.
That is a mistake. I definitely would have given you that at the beginning of the campaign. Too late. You take half of it, so rounded down be 15 as this creature lets out this magical blast of cold air from its mouth. The cold running across the tiles and up the walls, some of the bricks falling up. It's almost like a similar looking thing as the part of the doorway is covered in this ice. Will is just hit by the full brunt of it standing in front of this thing. Fix, you're able to use some of the wall to avoid some of it as it lets this horrible cone of cold out, striking both of you. The Oni then pulls seemingly from the air this pole arm that ends in a huge blade as it brings a glaive into his hand.
Before he does that, I will hellish rebuke them if he's going to do something
He can still
else.
do it. He's not doing something else, but he's pulling out a weapon after his initial thing. You can do hellish rebuke.
Dex save.
Okay, dex save coming in. An 8.
21 fire damage.
21 fire damage.
And I'll be watching to see if this actually does any more than I'm expecting it to.
Give me an investigation check. Let you have it on a passive.
Natural 24.
Doesn't seem to.
Okay.
Though it hurts him, he doesn't seem to be either resistant or vulnerable to fire. But you definitely get the sense as he recoils from it, the fire burning him, and it is actually your turn.
Tis. So these creatures are... I've never seen anything like this outside of the mist, right? This is quite... I feel like this would be really weird outside the mist.
Kinda. I mean, there's all sorts of weird things out there. An ogre that can cast... At the moment, really, all he's doing is casting spells. He's not a ghost or anything like that. You've seen all sorts of ghosts along the edge of the mist itself and undead and things. And this is more like that, but this is more like a very rare sighting. It's like seeing a dragon or something. You kind of know they're there, but you've never really seen one. Like some sort of weird rare animal that we've never seen in real life. You know, like my dad.
Oh my god.
That's a good joke.
Great. All right. Okay. Well, in that case, I will hex his strength and Eldritch blast him, and I will yell to Will at the same time. Do we want to leave?
Not without the other two.
That is a 23 and an 18.
23 and an 18. Yeah, you strike this creature twice for, what is that, 27 damage in total?
27 plus the hex damage, which is 5 and 1, 6, so 33 damage.
33 damage. Jesus, you guys are so strong now. What the fuck? Yeah, these two Eldritch blasts launch forward, striking the Oni in front of you. You see him hit by them. He's kind of manifesting this glaive so that he sees Will running forward with the armaments and stuff, and he brings out his own weapon in response before being hit by these things. You hex his strength, you see it land, and that is the end of your turn, yes?
Yep, I've sidestepped as well, so we're not in the same line.
Okay.
Yep.
Fire and Merlin.
Ooh.
You are here also. And a few moments ago, Fire, when you touched the doorway, you felt a very odd sensation as your body vanished from this plane and entered into this kind of spell. You became trapped inside this enchantment, and you reach forward and you feel a weightlessness as your clothes fall behind you, but you stumble forward naked through this doorway. Inside, you see 4 elves sitting there, staring wide-eyed, open-mouthed at you. And one of them says to you, "You idiot!" The other one says, "It's the boats. You have to take your shoes off. Doesn't matter. Why did you walk back in? You're trapped in here now, forever with us." A few seconds later, Merlin, bing, you appear next to them and they go,
Shit.
"Oh, you're kidding. We all fell for it. This is Angus, this is Orton, this is Randall, this is Joe. He's going to eat your friends now. He ate our friends. He's going to eat your friends."
I can explain, all right?
I don't think we
knew
need to.
by crossing, I too would get evaporated. I wasn't going to
You did it on purpose?
I wasn't going to tell my other friends that.
That's just crazy. Yeah, this one's
Is
crazy.
it crazy?
You're crazy.
Well,
Now we're stuck in here with you, crazy.
So, how long have you guys been here?
I don't know, like a week or a year? 10? How long? I don't know how long. Do you know how long? I have no idea.
I
Orton,
wouldn't
he
imagine
doesn't
that
speak.
long. You guys are still alive, aren't you?
I don't know. Are we alive? Are you alive? What is alive? We're just trapped in this stupid spell.
But I mean, well, actually, I don't know. Do bad things happen to you, or are you just stuck here?
We're just stuck here.
So that's horrible. Forever, you're stuck here forever.
We're all stuck here forever. So
We're all stuck
let me
here.
apologize for being so. I was just upset on your behalf that you
No, yeah, I understand.
failed so miserably there with the. We all did. I get it. We did the same.
I thought that after I left, I could come back around and go through, and then maybe just leave.
Right, yeah. I
through,
tried
and so I was gonna lead them.
I tried punching my way through, and he danced over the thing.
Yeah.
He just walked straight through. It's we get it.
I teleported the first time. Did you see that?
Right. We cheered.
Yeah, and then I wish I could have
And
seen
then
the
you
looks
walked
on your faces.
And now you're here.
Yep.
Right. Well, make yourself
Well-
comfortable, I suppose.
Yeah, we should just probably maybe get to know each other.
A second later, the thing lands. Suddenly, the in the center of this room, there is this huge creature that lands, and you recognize suddenly that you're kind of watching it interact with Will and Fix, who are standing outside on your clothing, looking in at this creature. Both of you can roll me initiatives as well. Let me give you your tokens back. You can put yourselves on the thing. You watch as Will and Fix begin to engage with this creature, suddenly slinging spells at one another, rushing towards it. A huge icy cold thing launches out. We can say that you guys are like in here. Now, you guys are completely not on this plane. But on your turn, here in round 2, you can do one of the following things. You can attempt to help by interacting with the creature. You can attempt to shove the creature, or you can attempt to grapple the creature. You can mess with the fight ethereally. It's pretty much all you can do from the other side here. So I will give you those things real quick, and I meant to do this in a way that was going to be a lot more useful for me when we got around to it, but here we are. Give me 1 second, and I will just put it in our group just so that you have it.
Can we see the other elves? Like, are they on the same...
They're all sitting around this room, just as if they've been sat there like they're waiting at the DMV. So, let me see here. Oh, you can also attempt to disarm him. That was the other one I wanted to...
We can disarm. Okay, all right. Well,
we can
that's gonna
attempt.
Attempt.
To disarm him. I thought he said, am I remembering correctly that this creature called us friends?
What did he call you,
like,
friends?
Yeah, he was like, oh, you could... I thought the creature said like, oh, they're friends forever. They're my friends forever now because we...
Yeah, he did.
Okay. I don't know if that means like...
He's insane.
Well, okay, but you can be insane and nice.
He's keeping these people in here like little sea monkeys.
Okay.
Okay, so in our group, I'm putting all of the things you can do to affect this fight. So those are the actions that you can take on this, on your turn. And that's it. And imagine how badly this could have gone. Okay. So you're all in, and these. Okay. Let's see here. Fire. Yep, your turn. What do you want to do? Here, what you're seeing is the Oni and Will probably engage in some sort of melee combat as Fix moves around the outside of the, moves into the tower itself and begins to move around the outside of the thing, probably charging up a couple of Eldritch Blasts. You can attempt to mess with the creature. Do I have my same
movement? Or
yes.
Okay.
You two feel kinda normal.
Yeah.
But maybe a little lighter of foot. You're both completely naked.
Butt naked.
Yeah.
Woo! I will look at the creature, and I will step forward, and I will say, if you and I are meant to be friends, then perhaps you shouldn't hurt my friends.
Silence, pet.
Okay, and I'll try to disarm it. I'll try to disarm it. I thought maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so you need to
acrobatics or athletics.
Acrobatics or athletics.
12.
And then he does one as well, I believe. Let's see what he's got. Well, strength.
Oh, it has advantage.
He's got disadvantage because of the hex.
Oh.
But
yeah, what does that do? Hang on.
Disadvantage on strength checks.
You have disadvantage on your attack if the target is holding an item in both hands. I see. Yeah. So this is the target has advantage on the ability check if it is larger than you, which it is.
Yeah.
So it is. I think maybe he even has advantage on this, but you know what? We'll leave it at that. 12 versus 21. He holds on to it anyway. While the strength hex does kick in, it just evens it out. So I think you're kind of really all that happens here is that you go to grab at his thing and your hands just pass straight through. There's like a moment though where your little finger touches it. You can feel it. So you know that you can interact. You get the sense that if you really kind of concentrate, you can do it. But this is unsuccessful, and that is the end of your turn. That is it. Unless you have, there's probably nothing you want to do other than that. I assume.
Nope, that's it. I just smile at him.
Yes. You're immune to damage, by the way, both of you as well. You're completely ethereal.
Fuck yeah.
So Merlin.
Okay. I'm gonna rush over to Will, and I'm going to use help, which will I'll be lending.
So help you do on the creature.
What?
Right? Yeah.
You
so
help?
Yeah, I
You
thought I'd
are-
give advantage to.
what you
Will.
do is you
It's kind of like you're hanging off his arm, being annoying. So
You
he
go
doesn't-
and annoy
grab the big guy around his leg and distract him.
you wind up the thing that you're trying to distract, and it gives whomever is about to attack them.
So that's okay. All right. Yeah, I will. I'll grab his leg, the Oni's leg,
Yeah.
like a freaking tarsier or a sloth, and I won't let go.
Yeah. That you can do. The creature here is you feel yourself connect with the creature, and you begin to hold on to its leg. It begins to kind of like just react to you and like try and shake you free, but is not really that bothered about you at all right now. As
Watch me. He will be bothered.
all right, as Will is about to do some stuff,
Want to hear
and
some
will
dad
have
jokes?
advantage. And yes, you will have advantage on the attack roll. Is this once, or is it just a flat? You have advantage on everything forever
It's
now.
the next attack.
Okay, so then yes, you have advantage on the first attack you make if you do that.
Which ironically will not be from me because I'm not going to swing at it yet.
Okay.
I am actually going to move around to the opposite side, so I'm flanking it, so to speak, so that it can't hit me and fix at the same time. Then I'm going to bonus action Vow of Enmity, just threaten this thing and tell it we're taking them back one way or the other. And then for my action this turn, I'm actually going to use my Lay on Hands because that thing, Cone of Cold, hit me really hard. And I'm going to restore about 28 health points and just sit there and focus, grit my teeth, and like dump most of that into regenning myself.
Yeah.
Because this thing freaking blasted me really, really, really hard.
Great.
So that'll put me back to... There we go. And that'll be my turn. And
Okay.
Fix has already been hitting the thing really hard anyway, so I'm content to just let that keep happening.
Yeah. All right. So you will see Glaive swinging towards you twice on
Okay.
a 14 and a 21.
I will use my shield spell to block that stupid thing. I don't feel like getting my head taken off.
Yeah. This enormous glaive comes down and it strikes your arcane shield. The creature dinging you a couple times kind of watches what happens. Its head cocks to one side and it says,
I see. Very well.
and it turns to you, Fix. Turns its back on Will. But
Ooh.
it is your turn.
Did I see it turn to Merlin when, you know, I said it turned all fire?
Oh yeah, you saw it react to two fucking things.
Huh.
It said silence
Interesting.
pet to the right hand side of itself, and not towards you, and began shaking its leg weirdly. distracted by something.
Okay. Sure. Seeing that the Eldritch Blast seemed to work pretty well, I'll give them back and then smack it again twice. On an 18 and another 18.
2 hits.
2 hits plus Hex. Which is some damage. 20, 31. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, these 2 strikes from these Eldritch Blasts hit this creature. I think you see it kind of stumble, and instinctively it kind of curls one of its arms inwards as if you've kind of done some sort of like horrible internal damage to it as it reacts to the second strike here. Is that the end of your turn?
And then I'm gonna move. I'm actually gonna go back outside and around the corner. As soon as I see it turn to me. And that is the end of my turn.
Okay, fire. Ethereal.
Okay. Ethereal fire will... I would like to try and climb this thing. And try to pull its cloak over its eyes or something. Maybe grapple? Maybe that would be a grapple?
You... Yeah, I think
because
grapple.
I don't see a way I
yeah.
can like
Yeah.
just physically grapple it. So
Yeah.
Strength. Was it strength on my end?
It's definitely strength on your end. Yeah,
Yeah,
contested
strength check.
All right, you got to be at 17. 11. You start to like climb up his back, and I think it's like successful. Will and Fix would see his cloak kind of pull back for a moment, and then you fall through him and kind of just land to one side before you realize that you've gone all ethereal again. You want to move?
I'll just put my hands up and go, pick me up! Pick me up!
Merlin,
Daddy.
attached to his leg.
Daddy Oni.
Oh, you had advantage on your thing, Fix, but you missed it, so it's too late.
Oh,
On your first Eldritch Blast.
cool.
Merlin, it's your turn. What do you want to do? You can keep holding onto his leg and keep the help action up if you want.
Since I'm already there, can I attempt to grapple?
Yeah.
Okay. Special melee attack?
Yeah, well, you need to give me just give me a strength check. We'll just do it that way.
Okay.
And you've got to beat, or an athletics you can roll. I don't think you're proficient, so I doubt it matters. But you've got to beat a 14. Ooh, makes it, breaks it. Who's it on in your favor as well, so it works.
Dead.
He
yes.
begins to move, but he's attached to this arcane version of Merlin. This ethereal version of you just grips onto his leg, and this is probably what it looks like when like my little terrier is biting on the back of my ankle. But it works. He doesn't move as he turns. He kind of moves a leg forward, maybe to aim for Fix, but you can see that he doesn't move. And I think Will and Fix, you see him turn suddenly and say,
Let go.
No. Rah.
Will's turn.
I will just immediately, when the thing looks down at the invisible, what I assume is Merlin, I just instantly, no words, just take that opening. I'm gonna swing. I'm actually gonna drop my shield, so my AC will go down by 2, but I'm gonna two-hand it. I'm gonna go 2 hands on the sword and just swing on this guy.
Okay.
Here is...
So he can't move, and I think that's it. You don't get advantage, right, for being grappled?
I have advantage already from Vow of Enmity, so it wouldn't matter.
Okay, yep.
A 22 and a 15.
22 hits.
Okay. So he's going to take 5 plus 3. And I will also smite the thing as well. I'm going to toss in 2d8. So it's going to end up being a total of 11, 14, 23 damage. It ends up taking total. If this thing is considered a fiend, then smite does extra. I don't know. You said it looked demonic, so I'm not sure if that actually counts for the bonus damage.
I actually thought it was going to be some sort of creature like that as well when you cast the thing the first time. It's literally just a large giant. So it's just real and normal and not fiendish, while he is
Interesting.
most assuredly evil. He pretty much just is a giant. So yeah, it's not considered that. But you do swing here, and I think this is like pretty considerable as your sword plus the smite goes off, and it just buries itself deep into this thing's side, the flesh rending in two and coming to a stop at one point against a bunch of flab and muscle in his stomach, and he lets out a terrible cry. The wound in his side absolutely will kill him eventually, but he isn't dead. It's a horrific wound as you rip the sword back out, and there's just a rush of blood runs down his side, and he just has this terrifying open wound now, but he isn't dead.
I will
for sure
end
will
my
die
turn
from
on
it.
that.
Okay, you glance at this wound that you did and see it slightly regenerate. As he spins around and he says, and he transforms into a gaseous form. He just turns into smoke, and he is floating away.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see here. I think you can still get attacks on him.
I was gonna say, can I do anything if he goes by me?
Will can have an attack of opportunity.
I will absolutely take it. I don't know if it actually does any good against a floating ball of gas, but I'll swing on it anyway with a nat 20.
Yeah.
I will hit it with that and smite for the hills to try and kill this thing before it gets away.
Okay.
So that's going to be, so it's that plus that plus it comes out to 30, 39, 48, 51 total damage on that crit.
Oh, jeez. Well, here's what happened. I think
it takes
you
like reduced damage from being.
It does, but
gassed.
but not. It's like not going to do anything. You've killed it. The sword comes down. The strike hits. This gas begins to like float away from you. The intention of this creature clearly to escape or retreat a little to recover and then return. But before it can do so, you bring the sword down in a sort of side arc and strike the creature. The first bit of the sword passing through this gas, you feel it take no real purchase, and then you push a smite through, and the creature, the gas, is hit with this smite. There's also a kind of sense of ice as the creature reforms and then explodes into shards of ice that rush outwards, hitting the wall like glass, smashing and shattering across the ground. For a brief moment, you see the gaseous form turn into a kind of icy version of this huge Oni again, and then he explodes. The gas dissipating, the ice shattering everywhere, and then your friends return. Merlin and Fire returning to their forms, buck naked,
Are we naked?
right where you were. In the areas
Oh,
where
we're
the
totally
four
naked.
elves were is just a set of bones. And you
My
guys
friends.
defeat the mysterious Oni, and but unfortunately the elves were trapped away for too long, and they
Wow.
died in there.
Oh.
But you freed them from the Oni's prison, and the spell and everything around here, all of this drops. The creature absolutely obliterated into nothingness, and the stuff that was real is still there. These kind of strange items that the Oni had collected as part of its weird twisted game, including the potion itself. The glaive, however, shatters with the Oni, and the Oni and everything that he was was on him, which was really just a cloak, all explode. And you are successful in your killing here. Fire, Merlin suddenly appear buck naked. What do you do?
Oh, well,
No one gets left
Merlin's
behind.
immediately covering his, what's
Yeah.
left of down there.
I'm. No!
I think.
What's left?
Oh no.
I'm decaying.
I don't want to follow that up. We just move on.
Yeah,
Their,
okay.
Their nakedness doesn't actually faze me because I saw their clothes on the ground outside. I already figured this was coming, and let's just say
Can you toss
No one
those over?
no one gets left behind. Go get your own clothes. I'll
I gather them up and
them.
kind of like just bring them over.
Doing
There you go.
the naked in a movie walk over to my clothes.
Yeah, Merlin's waddling over and
Yeah.
just grabs his clothes.
And you can sort them out. I don't know who's whose.
Okay. I'll just get dressed.
You're okay? You don't.
So
You
does
don't. Did
Merlin.
nothing happen to you in there? You're
Well,
both
I
okay?
made for. I'm suffering a loss.
You know, we
Several losses. We made friends.
Yeah,
A
there were
lot.
some other guys trapped there.
They're dead
Oh.
now.
You sound awfully
Our
flippant
our
about that.
bony friends in the corners there, I assume.
Yep, that's them.
That's them.
Wonder how
Okay.
long they were stuck in here.
Who knows?
They were elves. They could
Huh.
see. They could see us. So,
Well, if they were
and we
elves
could see
and they-
you.
If they were elves and they died in here of old age,
Yeah, probably a long time.
A long time. You two
Well.
fought bravely. It was not gonna lie, it was a fun watch. Not that I felt you guys were struggling with that battle.
No, we
Yeah,
were
that-
helping too from the other
We did
side.
assist.
I saw that actually.
Yeah,
Very brave
yeah.
of you both.
Thank you.
you know, I've heard the phrase ankle biter before, Merlin, but you did it literally, so bravo. I think that's the
Oh,
first
I
time I've
wasn't
seen
gonna
that
let
one
go.
used in a battle.
I think at one point you were barking at him. That was,
I did bark.
yeah.
Good on you.
So sleep then.
Yeah. I wonder if this is what Vito was going wild about.
I imagine Vita's having the greatest moment of I told you so right about now.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let him rest for a while. Get it out of his
Like I
system.
said, he's not ever been wrong.
Yeah, don't tell him that. He'll get an ego as big as yours, and then that'll be problematic.
Excuse me.
He'll just wink at Will. I can't wink in real life, so.
I can't either.
And that is where we end the session. Thank you so much for playing players and
gosh.
tuning in, viewers, to this episode of Mistlight. And yeah, we can assume that you guys settle down and do the rest here, and we'll pick up from here after a sleep next week, as I assume you will hit the city of Gerfreda. And whatever that entails next time. We're going to do a quick round of shout outs to let everybody in the chat or viewers in the future on YouTube and all that stuff know who you are, where you're from, where they can find you, and what you're doing there. Let's start with you, Fairlight.
You can find me over at twitch.tv/Fairlight_Excalibur. You can also catch me here every week playing Will the Paladin. Lately, I've been on a huge League of Legends kick, so if you're into that, you can come watch me play that until something else comes out, and then I'll randomly change.
Okay.
I'm not playing Escape from Tarkov. That's the only thing that matters.
Okay. All right. He then
We believe
the
you.
Always Sunny card plays. What about you, Bri?
Hello, I'm Brutal Bree. You can find me everywhere, Brutal Bree. And I feel like I say this every single time, but I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 RP on Wild RP. Definitely don't have a problem at all. But I play a drastically different character over there, so come check me out, 6 p.m. Eastern, like every day. So.
All right. What about you, Leah?
I'm chilling today.
Yeah, I noticed
Dungeons
that.
and Dragons, baby.
I noticed that you get lots of Dungeons and Dragons merch. You must GM a lot, huh? You must have been GMing for the last 5 years.
I'm GMing tomorrow. Shut up. That's how you get Brad to leave.
I'm not
Figured it
jealous at all. No, they actually do send me a bunch of books and stuff all the time, and I love them for it. But
Yeah,
We can't
stop
read.
Whining.
yeah, I know. I'm
Constant
just
whining.
being a dick.
And he can't read. It's charity.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you DMing? Where can we watch it? Huh? You're
I'm
gonna stream
doing
it? Come on,
offline.
stream it. Go on.
I'm
I
doing
know you're
offline.
gonna do it offline, but you should stream it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll let you stream it
Definitely
on this channel since there's no rhyme of Frost Maiden. How about that?
Thank you so much. That's not stressful at all. Yeah, I stream I stream a lot of days. Not every day, that's false promises. Twitch.tv/Leah. I was playing some Rocksmith today, but I play just kind of everything and anything, including Red Dead RP until 6 a.m. a lot of days. Anyway, shout out to Daiga Maki who gave 200 subs today in
He's,
chat. What the?
He is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Daigi
Just shout outs for
McKiley,
you.
Doogie McCootie.
Doogie
He's-
McCootie.
The
But
guy
yeah,
McAndreas.
Yep.
it was a very fun episode. Thank you very much, and I'm glad we managed to hit all of our attacks. That was very cool.
Yeah, you did all right in the combat.
Yeah.
What about you, Disby? Where are you and what are you doing?
Hello, I'm DispyRx. I played Merlin for you today. You can find me Twitch and Twitter at DispyRx. I play variety and do some role play as well. Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. And thank you guys for tuning in. Great episode. Yeah. Make sure you check out Brad too.
Mm-hmm. Everybody check out Brad.
I'm doing a New Year's Eve tier vote thing where we vote on the best game that we all of the games, almost all of the games are chosen by my chat throughout the year on a vote thing. So I do a end of year tier vote on which games that they chose were the best games that they chose, and we're doing all sorts of things tomorrow for that. I'm also playing Skyrim at the moment. But screw all that. Stick around on Table Story. We'll be back next week with more of this. Thank you, Daigly McAnglish.
Festus Creeps.
I did spite them, but I'm also just so overwhelmed when I'm GMing to with whatever. And there is no rhyme of the Frost Maiden tomorrow because it is New Year's Eve, so obviously everyone's out doing things and stuff. So I think we'll be back next Wednesday with Spellwind. There is a new show on January the 8th, so next Saturday, which is the Warhammer 40k show, if you want to check that out. And then mark that down in your calendars or your colanders. I think that's it. By the way, the answers to this whole thing, do you want it? It was one of those ones that I put together myself and I knew was like, probably they're going to really struggle to get it. But that's okay, because if a couple of them fail, then a couple of them get to be in the other side of the combat, and it kind of makes the combat weird and fun. But yeah, I set it up so that obviously there was the fact that one of the doorways is the first thing he says, but technically one of them wasn't a doorway. And the thing with it is that you have to be light on your feet, so you just have to take your boots off. Like a boxer is light on his feet, but a knight, while being a trained fighter like a boxer, is heavier.
Yeah.
The dancer made it through. Barbarians are less, they're more likely to be kind of like chaotic, whereas dancers are light on their feet or whatever. And the thief and the ogre is just obviously, an ogre is what it is, that is above you the whole time. And the thieves are supposed to be
That's
light
the
on their
first
feet.
thing that Leah said, by the way, is maybe we need to be light on our feet. And then
Yeah, you were on it you were on it pretty quickly. And I spammed this together pretty quickly. So I was like, probably whenever I do these things where I'm like, okay, let's just throw a kind of half puzzle combat, so it just makes it more interesting, like we did last time. It's just been kind of having fun building some random encounters for you. I was like, there's no way that this is good enough. I can tell. I'm actually weirdly good enough at puzzles now to know when it's like they're either going to walk in and be like, take your shoes off, or never get it. But yeah, the plan, the idea behind the Oni here is that he at least wants a couple of you gone as like weird little sea monkey pets because he's probably like kind of crazy, and then he attacks you anyway. So the fail state was kind of when 2 of you vanish, unless all 4 of you were like, we jump in, and then there was a whole other thing that you would have been able to do. But yeah, that was kind of the plan here, and it kind of went to plan, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, that was the answer, because I know that sometimes people probably want to know. Generally, all you actually actively had to do was take your shoes off and walk out of the left-hand door.
Yeah.
So when I started saying that I was taking my armor off, but then Fire like kind of interrupted and said no, she would do it. See, now you got me wondering, because I don't know, because I would have taken like all of the heavy plate mail, including
would have taken the greaves and stuff. Yeah, it would have worked.
Yeah.
So, but then I don't know. Maybe I would have taken the boots in the bag and put them on. I got baited into it.
Right,
So I don't know if it.
Yeah.
I might have got baited. I don't know. It's hard to say in hindsight.
It's weird. But also the other thing I realized is that you immediately, all of you went in there and went, oh, I'll just Misty Step. And I was like, oh my God, did they all have Misty Step? I couldn't remember if you all had some form of teleport. And I was like, so I was just Googling it at the beginning. You can probably watch me Googling frantically, like, can you Misty, is a teleport like a thing where you can go through like a thing? And like in my head, I'm like, obviously yes, because it's a teleport. So you just go, you're not casting through the thing. And as long as you have a line of sight, and I had already said you can kind of see out. So I was like, yeah, you know what? It works. You could all technically have just Misty stepped out, but then the Oni would have attacked you anyway.
Yeah.
But
This was more fun, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. The whole point of building some of these D&D encounters, whether it be like a puzzle or it be a fight or some weird thing, is that you have an enormous bag of tricks as players, right? You can do all sorts of weird shit. I really have no idea, and I don't care. How you deal with it is how you deal with it. You know, whether you pick a lock or you break the door or you cast a spell to break out or whatever is up to you lot, and that's the kind of fun part. Until sometimes you get stuck on a puzzle. So I've started to put
Can
little
you send me the
fail-safes in.
names of the elves, by the way?
Yeah, it was Angus, Orton, Randall, and Joe.
Okay, I just want to have that in my pocket in case we
They were
walk
peasant.
into a town and they're like, my great-great-grandfather was walking along.
My great grandfather Angus.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I'll put that in here.
Thanks.
And that'll be it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Everyone have a good new year. And we'll see you next year. I made that joke last night.
Next year.
But here we are. Can't help it. I am 100 years old. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.
That's the wrong thing. God damn it.
Bye.